great challenge. Don't you dare, ref. That's he got the ball.
Hello, everybody. How are we? Happy Sunday. Happy Spurs Day. We are going to be going into the Southampton game in hopes that we can gather some type of momentum, some type of confidence in ahead of our more important match against Frankfurt on Thursday night. Hopefully, everybody's doing okay. Hopefully, everybody's feeling okay. Hopefully, everybody's enjoyed the best of their weekends. And we'll see how this one goes. Listen, I mean, I'm in no real expectation of Spurs getting a cricket score, getting a basketball score against that Southampton team. I'm just looking forward to a win of any kind, of any sort. You know, it'd be nice to have it maybe be guaranteed by halftime, like it was, in the last time we played Southampton. But I'm under no illusions here that this team is not playing very well at the moment. And as well as, there's some bigger things, going on at play here. We know that Ange Postecoglou is under massive pressure. We know that as well. The fan base is putting massive pressure on the ownership and on Daniel Levy. We know that there's some good protests, some good demonstrations that have been happening outside the ground. I've only just woke up this morning. It is 5:30 in the morning for me at this moment in time. And I went out with some friends and tried to just enjoy the weekend as best as possible. But from what I can tell, it seems like, there are plenty of bigger things, at play here. But we are going to try to win a football match, and we are going to try to see if Spurs can get over the line here to see if we can to get some type of solace, some type of momentum for Thursday night. Smash the like button for us, please. And yeah, thank you for joining us for this watch along. Thank you for joining us for this game match day. And we'll get through the lineups here, and then we'll get my own thoughts as well as Dave's thoughts on it. We do have not really that different of a lineup, to be perfectly honest here, everybody. I'm a little surprised, by that. I thought maybe there would be further changes, but then again, Dave and I, when we did our own kind of predicted lineup and whatnot, I wouldn't say it's that dissimilar from what we were kind of expecting / predicting. We have Vicario in goals, Pedro Porro at right back, Romero at right-sided center back, Davis at left-sided center back, Spence back in at left back, which is interesting to see. Maybe Spence hopefully will be kept around for the Frankfurt game, but he continues to play for Ange Postecoglou. Bergvall and Bentancur is your midfield, at least in the deeper areas, with James Maddison. Brennan Johnson is at right wing. Not a big surprise there, with Solanke up front, and then Sonny at left wing. I did think that maybe a Matisse Tell or someone like that would have come into the team. In terms of the subs, we have Kinski, Udogi, Van de Ven, Odebear, Matisse Tell, Richarlison makes the bench again, so it's good to see him back. Pop Matassar is still on the bench, Basuma as well, and then Archie Gray. I mean, Dave, like, I don't know, we didn't expect a whole host of changes, but something around, I guess, what you and I did in the members preview. But yeah, Ange Postecoglou, I guess, to some degree alluded to, changes in the lineup. But I don't know, like it's a bit of a mixed bag here in terms of maybe what we were expecting / predicting and maybe what we would have wanted. I'm not like saying I'm disappointed at all in the lineup, really. I think he did have to make changes. I think he did have to make rotations, but I don't know. What do you make of the lineup, or what was said during the pre-match buildup about it? Was there any hot takes about that from yourself or others? I mean, are there anybody that's disappointed in it?
Yeah, Dermot said he was disappointed in it, but I think Dermot's more disappointed in, the team in general. I think he feels like the team doesn't inspire him with a lot of confidence. But
Maybe
look,
so.
Postecoglou has made 3 changes to today's lineup. Now, Spence in for, Porro in for Destiny Udogie, Johnson in for Udeber, and Davies in for Van de Ven. Now, I understand the Van de Ven one. I think many people are expecting that one to happen. He came off with cramp the other day. In the situation that he's been in with his hamstrings, it is better to wrap him up in cotton wool and make sure he is ready to go for Frankfurt Thursday night. I wasn't surprised to see Pedro Porro come in. At the end of the day, Jack, Southampton are no great shakes. They're there for the taking. Even this team should be able to score a few goals against them today. And the name of the game is trying to go create some attacking opportunities, create some goals to give yourself a bit of confidence. So I think on that basis, Pedro Porro coming in for Destiny Udogie was the right call. Destiny Udogie the other night was a massive letdown. You look at Madison's son trying to give him balls and look for the return ball. It's not coming to them. He keeps giving away possession. So I think that's where he lets himself myself down. So I always thought that change was coming. The one that surprises me a little bit is not bringing in Papa Matasar, Jack. I think we're missing a huge opportunity here. What he done the other night, okay, it was disallowed, but he's the only midfielder in the team that has that. Look, I think Bergval's been absolutely brilliant this year in terms of how quickly he's acclimatized from the Swedish second division to the Premier League. However, in the final third, that's where I find him underwhelming compared to someone like Papa Matasar. When he gets into that final third, he doesn't really make the right pass, playing people through, doesn't really put in a good cross, doesn't really have the end product. Whereas I think Papa Matasar is a lot more end product in the final third than maybe Bergvall. And I think that's where we are missing a trick to a large degree. Madison, I think, is the right call to leave him in here, Jack. Again, we need him to try and find his confidence. And you know what? One thing he does do is he does put balls in behind four runners. He's one of the only midfielders that does that. And, okay, they don't all come off, but at least he tries. So I think that's the right call. Look, Brennan Johnson, again, I know some people were disappointed. He done well coming off the bench the other day, and I'm not being funny, but where the forward line is at, with everyone drained of confidence, we don't create an awful lot and stuff like that. The reality is, that's what you're going to do as a manager. You're looking for any sort of bit of spark to put in there to try and get this forward line going. And that's what Johnson provided off the bench against Chelsea. So I can understand why he's come into the team to a certain degree. But look, I would still argue the case. I think he's a better sub than what he is starting the game. But at the end of the day, I think, it was a situation where when Postecoglou antagonised the fans Thursday night, which, again, I know some people want to paint a narrative that I've defended it, which is absolutely false. I haven't. I've ridiculed him for it. And, we've ridiculed him for going after fans for quite some time, actually. But he's under pressure to deliver a result today. He has to win now off the back of that. You look at these players, they need confidence heading into the Frankfurt game. And yeah, we could have made a load of rotations, but the reality is when we've done that this season, we've lost games. So I think he's at the point now where he has to try and pick his best team and make little rotations within that. So look, I don't think too many fans really care about today. They are more just waiting for the Frankfurt game. But the reality is, I'd like to win before we head into that game. And I think this team is good enough to beat Southampton. Now, if we do put 3 or 4 by them today, am I going to get carried away and pretend that Brennan Johnson is the greatest player in the world? No, I'm not going to do that because I still think he's bang average. The reality is, you could put me and you out there, Jack. We should be able to break down this Southampton team.
I mean, I'm in agreement with you. I'm just looking to see a win of some kind. It'd be nice just to experience a win because it only happens so often, this season. But, to a question that maybe I sort of put to you in the pre-match build-up, Dave, that I'm not sure if there was maybe enough time or anything to get to it. But, I mean, is there something that can be gained from a win, tonight? Is there some type of – is it necessary, basically, to win today for the Frankfurt game? Or can you really treat this as – a throwaway if you're Ange Postecoglou? Personally, I think you still have to try in some manner to get a win on the board, just to even in some sort of like false belief or maybe, I don't know, just false bravery, for the Thursday night game. You need to give yourself something to work with. You need to give yourself some type of momentum. And I think it would have better come from, the previous fixture against Chelsea. But, you got to win tonight in order to try to give yourself, that sense of belief that, okay, this is a team that technically can win a game of football. And I think you need to win tonight in order for that to be manifest itself on Thursday. So 100%. I know people are treating this as a throwaway. There are bigger things at play here. The change for Tottenham demonstrations, that type of stuff. But it is important, I think, that you still get a win today, no matter how it happens.
No, 100%. Look, the reality is, Jack, 5 out of our last 8 games, we haven't scored a goal. And you would argue we don't look like scoring either. We could have played, 290 minutes the other night. We still wouldn't have found the back of the net, We are so void of ideas. What today is all about for me is getting confidence into Madison. Can he bag a couple of assists and a couple of goals? Can that transfer then into the Frankfurt game? Same from Son. Solanke is way out of form, way out of confidence. Yeah. For me, it's about just assisting and scoring goals with these forward players to give us hope against Frankfurt. If we can't unlock defences, we have no hope of winning games of football. The reality is, you start every game with a draw, right, at 0-0. But in order to turn that to 3 points, you need to go and score goals. And 3 points and winning games as football is ultimately what wins you things. So the name of the game is to score goals, and we just don't have that in this team. So today is all about trying to just get a little bit of confidence into them guys so that when they do head into the Frankfurt game, that they feel like they're going in there with a bit of confidence and that they can unlock them. If we don't score goals today and we struggle to unlock this Southampton team, that will come back to bite us next Thursday night.
Yeah. Well, everybody, feel free to smash the like button. Feel free to get your opinions in on the lineup as well as on this game. Personally, I think it's important that we get a win of some kind. Doesn't really matter how we do it. We need to get a win tonight in order to give ourselves that bravery and that sort of sense of belief for Thursday night. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on it. And of course, there are the change for Tottenham protests happening at this moment in time. People are
Big
joking
turnout.
that the score line that I had was already 1-0 up to Spurs. I'm trying my best to give ourselves that leg up of some kind here. But let me get to the chat here, and we're about 14 minutes away from kickoff, so do sync up with us once that happens. Shikari Shock is in the house. Good to see you, Shikari. Thanks for being here nice and early. Drewzilla, pick up everyone in the chat. 3 points is a must-stay. That's the way I feel about it, Drew. No matter how it happens, we need to get 3 points of some kind. Peter Kagayas, 10:34 p.m. in Melbourne. Good to see you, Peter. Then he's saying, what a sad fan base we are. Peter, I don't know what we've said that's upset you, but also as well, what I would say too, I mean, are you happy with 16th position, man? Like, I just looked at the table. We are one position above Wolves and then the relegation stage. So I don't know. It's the worst season since the 1970s. So again, I am really, confused by people that sort of call us miserable and call us a sad fan base. It's like, I mean, are you happy with 16th? Personally, I am not. But I even did intro this by saying, I am just trying to get a win of some kind to give ourselves as a fan base as well as a team some type of bravery, some type of false sense of security, I guess, to a degree for that Thursday night. We should have
Oh,
tried to get some sort of points against Chelsea. We didn't, and I wasn't even that disappointed with the performance really, but then the manner in which the manager acted, and the way that he sort of taunted and sort of mocked the own fan base, I think actually threw a lot of the good work that was done on Thursday night out the window. So personally, I think we're kind of still at ground zero, really, when it comes to just trying to gain some type of belief for Thursday night. And again, to the people that sort of call us miserable, I'm very confused by that. It's like, are you seriously happy with being in one position above Wolves and the relegation positions? This is not how any sort of, Spurs fan would have expected this season to unfold. Even the most cynical of Spurs fans would not have expected us to be at this stage, of a season. I mean, it's only so often that we've been able to even pick up more than 2 wins in a row, this year. So honestly, hopefully that's not directed at us, Peter, because I think Dave and I have really tried to manifest to the best of our ability, especially on Thursday night, the last Thursday night, our positive hope, for just trying to gather momentum of some kind. At the end of the day, we're trying to pray and trying to hope for that positive momentum, but Spurs just aren't delivering it. But hopefully they deliver it today, which pretty much was my intro.
No, 100%. And look, I'll go back to the logic that people, when they try to accuse me of not being a Tottenham fan, Dave, Tottenham's bigger than any player. Same with any manager, right? Tottenham's bigger, And at the end of the day, look, I know where you're coming from, Peter. I know that you're a big fan of Postecoglou, and so am I. And the thing that I've tried to highlight is, look, it's not good enough. This is coming to an end at some point. I think we've got to face up to that for sure. But the reality is, you go back to Conte's words where he said 2 years ago in this very game, changing the manager ain't going to change Tottenham Hotspur. There's a lot more things involved, and to agree, I still agree with that. But the reality is, look where we are. We are better than your Palaces, your Wolves, and your teams like that. We are. I'm sorry. How much better do I agree with people where they say, oh, another manager will get us back into top 4, top 5? No, I don't think so. Not with this current squad. But the reality is, we are better than where we currently are and what we've been showing this season. That's just the truth of it.
I mean, years ago, I was made fun of for being a happy clapper, and then I, as well as plenty of others, took that word back and sort of made it, almost a term of endearment. So again, like as much as I am actually usually one of the more positive Spurs fans, I can't be positive about being in 16th position at the end of the day. Like my, my positivity, my optimism only can be stretched so far. This is literally the worst season in close to 50 years in terms of the Premier League. I don't know how that could be seen as being
Honestly,
miserable or anything. Like
it's
I'm at my wit's end at this stage. Like,
it's
am I supposed to then just pray for us to then, I don't know. It's like being relegated, I guess, would then allow me to be miserable. Like just to even see in the league table, the only people above us, Wolves, Ipswich, Southampton, and Leicester City and whatnot. It's genuinely sad to look at. It is genuinely sad. And even my own intro avoided all of that conversation, but to be called miserable and sad, I just had to bring it up
The
there. Like,
reality
I'm
is,
sorry.
though, Jack, it's getting to the point now where we're at the point now where there's no room for balance. No one wants balance. We get caned either side. We get caned for not happy clapping, and then we get caned for not being, 100% the manager's the problem, get him out of the football club. The reality is, They're both lazy arguments to make. The reality is, there's more to winning at the football club than just the manager. People that are staunch hands out, which look, I fully understand where they got there. I'm at the point where I'm done with the guy as well. But the reality is, expecting a new manager to walk in here and just get better, it's not going to happen. That's a lazy argument to make. But anyone that goes, shut up and ignore what's going on, just back the project, again, it's another stupid, lazy argument to make. The reality is, there's more to this than just Ange in or fucking Ange out. That's the reality of it. There's balance to it. Our transfer shit. We've got internal problems at the football club, etc., etc. But right now, because everyone's so developed in their camps and they believe that's the problem, there's no room for fucking balance. And I'm sorry, I'll always bring the balance, or what I feel like is balance to the situation. I'm one of them. I think for myself. I don't get caught up in one side or the other. For me, I fully understand that this is coming to an end. It's not good enough for Tottenham Hotspur, and it has come to the point where he needs to go unless he delivers Europa League success. But it's not all his fault. The same thing, I'm not going to sit here and go, he just needs to stay in. Everything's on the club's fault. The reality is, people need to come together. The club, the management, and everything need to come together. But there's balance in this situation. It's not just one side or the other. And I'm sorry if people don't want to hear that. That's on you. But we're getting caned either side because we tried to bring balance, and I'm fed up with it.
Yeah, I think Spurs fans are perfectly entitled to be enraged in the position that we are in. And I'm just tired of being called, a miserable fan and whatnot, when I literally probably gave one of the most neutral intros I could have ever imagined, and actually considering it is 5:30 a.m. in the morning as well, is actually one of my better intros at this stage of the morning as well. Good to see you though, Peter. Darv Hotspur, big up to all. Come on, you Spurs. Sean Brown is in the house. It's Tottenham time. Listen, man, that's what I was trying to say earlier, but I guess I got caned for that. We have Drew Zilla in the house. We have as well as Daniel Harris. Team Harris is checking in. Hopefully you're doing okay, sir. He's saying, can't even predict a win against Southampton. Listen, man, I'm just hoping for a win of some kind. I don't need you to predict one. I just want us to, see a win against Southampton today so I can get that sort of false sense of security for Thursday night. George Kadaris, good to see you, Georgie. We have David Granola in the house. Afternoon, boys. You have to be confident today. Surely they couldn't. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is how good do you need to be to even beat Southampton? I'm not even sure if you need to even be that good. Hopefully Spurs can just reach some type of bar to do it. Aussie, Coys. Good to see you. Big up, guys. Hopefully we are toasting a good win at the end of today. Come on, you Spurs. That's what I'm looking for, man. I just want to see a win of some kind. I just want to see Spurs be able to put the ball in the back of the net. Just see Spurs to be able to show that they can technically win a game. Then we have Fat Tony in the house. Good to see you, Fat Tony. Hopefully everything is good with you, my friend. My fellow man in Washington. Stevie Frazier's in the house as well. Good to see you, Stevie Frazier. Best midfielder around. Mick Hermela, Cantab. Suit is measured. Great name, by the way. We are Spurs TV. I'm here with all my sunshine and positivity. Well, I don't need you to be positive. I don't need you to bring any sunshine. I do enjoy a bit of sunshine, despite my fair skin and despite all the freckles that I do have on my face. Weirdly, I do kind of enjoy that thing. Phil C is in the house as well. Good to see you, Phil C. Phil C at Sweeting as well. And then Dark Sun G, finally have gotten to you, sir. Thank you for being patient. Just wanted to greet some people that have joined us. Dark Sun G saying, come on, you Spurs, no pressure game today. The main dish is Europa. Listen, that's how I feel about it, Dark Sun G. Just want to see a win so that we can use that as some type of momentum, some type of building blocks for Thursday night. I don't think there's really a whole lot to ask in that. And at the end of the day, we are talking about the worst team in the Premier League this year and one of the worst teams of the worst teams in the Premier League of some time. I'm pretty sure of many of the teams that have finished at the bottom of the table. Southampton might even be worse than the Sheffield Uniteds of seasons past, of the many other teams that have finished at the very bottom of the table. I don't think it's too much to ask Spurs to try to get a type of win here just to use that as a building block for Thursday night. I kind of see where you're coming from, the no pressure type of game scenario. Sort of agree with that, but at the end of the day, it is about just getting, a win tonight to see if we can build for Thursday night. I mean, that's the whole point there, right, Dave?
Say that again. Sorry, Jack.
The whole point is just getting some type of win today. He's saying the main dish is Europa League. He's saying no pressure game day tonight.
No, look, I don't subscribe to that. There's no pressure. At the end of the day, it's a game of football. You want to win every game of football. It's not like we can just, F this one off. The reality is we're under pressure. We need to win every game as much as we can to sort of take the pressure off, or even just sort of try and end the season well and give us some sort of hope or momentum heading into next season. We need every game is important. We should we're going back to the old narrative of this cup doesn't matter, this one does. We should prioritize this over this. At the end of the day, every game of football matters at this football club, and a win is vital today. If we don't win, it's just going to continue the bad feel factor around the place, and that's going to take over Thursday night. And that can't be the case. We need everybody out for Thursday night, and a win tonight will get people in the mood. So a win is of the utmost importance today.
100%. And then as well, we have the one and only We Are Spurs TV, the people, Tony Southfield. Let's go. Come on, you Spurs. Good to see you, Tony. Tony, recent member. Hopefully you're doing okay. We're at least in the best of moods before this game unfolds. We're about 4 minutes away from kickoff here, so do strap in. Everybody do get synced up with us once the clock unfolds. Cool, sexy football's in the house. Hopefully you're doing okay, my friend. Ugly Fish is in here. And then we have a new elite member. Thank you to Naughty Paperclip. What a fantastic name. Really, really good names in the house. Suit is measured. Naughty Paperclip. Love the usernames. Really appreciate you. And thanks for becoming an elite member. Feel free to get in contact with Dave or I if you would like to come on a fan show or anything else that you would like, with that elite membership. We're trying to do better by you guys, but thank you so much for the support, by the way, Naughty Paperclip. I'm not even sure if I can remember too many chats from you in the live stream, so I really do appreciate that, and hopefully you are, to the best of your ability, trying to get through Spurs like Dave or I, this season. And thank you for joining us during the watch along, and thank you for joining us for game day. Listen, man, I'm trying to manifest some type of positive energy before the game. It's just at 5:30 in the morning, I'm not sure if I can take, being blamed as being miserable when I probably gave one of the most neutral intros I could have possibly ever given, and I was still being accused of being miserable, before this game. I'm really at my wit's end right now, to be perfectly honest here, Naughty Paperclip. So I actually really do appreciate that. So hopefully maybe you enjoyed the intro at least compared to maybe some others. And he's saying, I live in Southampton. I'm 39. I'm 39 Spurs years since I could breathe. Love you guys for a subscription. Hey, Naughty Paperclip, that's very, very kind of you. I was just finally scrolling down. Like I said, my eyes are a little slow this morning, so I probably could have just scrolled a little bit further down and actually seen your comment. But like I said, email is in the description of this video if you wanted to get in contact with Dave or I, whether it's a tell me your Spurs story about your time maybe in Southampton or your time as a Spurs fan in those 39 years of being one, or if you also want to pop on a fan show tomorrow, feel free to do so, my friend.
I will say we are much more enjoyable and probably more tolerable when we are winning games of football. It's just right now, it's just tough, man. It's like, it's just tough. Anyway, look, let's keep moving. I'm just disappointed that,
I derailed the show, but I
No, I'm just disappointed. It's getting to me. I can't really think straight today because I'm just disappointed to see the fan base turn on itself once again. And it annoys me. It really winds me up. But look, it's a sunny day out there. It's a great day for fucking football. Hopefully we can just get a good win and just calm everything down for a few days.
I need to calm down. Yeah, I derailed the show though. So everybody, I do appreciate you guys tuning in with us. It's just, again, I can't even believe I was called miserable for probably the most neutral intro I've ever given.
And there was a comment, and earlier on, and I know it's gone now, but guys saying, "Oh, you care too much about what the people in the chat think." I mean, why wouldn't I? Of course I care what people think. Of course I, want to acknowledge their opinions. Of course I want to engage with them. If we just sat here and ignored them and then 2 hours, what's the fucking point? Well, what's the point of them coming in? What's the point of us doing this? It's absolutely pointless. The reality is, I do believe the whole point of this is so that we can engage with people.
I don't also give that sort of, kind of adherence or that sort of attention to just anybody. It's usually people that I do see on a regular basis, people who I do see in the chat that are usually in with us. So that's just the way I look at it too, at the end of the day. It's just, that's the way I sort of see it. It's just people that I normally do kind of see in the chat, and then somehow I'm being called miserable. I'm not sure, I'm just at my wit's end with it. Good to see you, Lazy 8. Good to see LNJ Brooks, Celery Agent. Long time no see. Good to see you, Celery. And then Artist T saying, I don't mean to openly call out the people. I mean, I can't. At the end of the day, Artist T, I don't know if I can really talk about this much longer. It's a toxic time at the moment, man. Listen, I appreciate if you're trying to defend us or something like that, I can understand it. But listen, Artist T, man, I'm just trying to defend myself at the end of the day. I'm getting up at 5:30 a.m. I've done 4:30 a.m. streams. I've done 3 o'clock streams during the literal preseason. I'm just not happy with being called a miserable Spurs fan, to be honest, at this stage. I probably, like I said, gave
No
one
one wants to be
of
miserable. We want to be
those
happy.
possibly given.
And the thing is, look, this is the thing, artist to you, and this is what I've been trying to say all along. I'm not going to berate anybody for their opinion. And I don't, like, if you disagree, come and have a conversation. Fine, we'll have it all day long. But berating and slandering each other for opinions, at the end of the day, what we need to realize is, even say if, which we agree on a lot, RST, but say if we disagreed, the reality is, I know you're coming from a standpoint where you want Tottenham to be successful. And I think you'll also understand I'm coming from a standpoint where I want Tottenham to be successful. We all have different ideas, different routes of getting there. But the reality is, it's not us in there making the manager decisions whether to hire or fire them. It's not us in there bringing in the director of football. It's not us bringing in the players. All we can do is literally have our opinions and pay to support the football club. None of us are making decisions. We shouldn't be turning on each other. The reality is, the manager is dividing everybody once again. It's dividing everybody once again, and we can't keep going down this route. It's every 2 years this is happening. At what point do we say, no, fuck this, come together, get pressure on the ownership so we get the club that we deserve? That's what
Yeah.
needs to happen. We need to come together and stop going at each other, because until that happens, we will keep going in this cycle.
I'm just tired of Spurs fans blaming Spurs fans for what's going on, really. That's just the way I see it.
To
We are
watch,
not the
man.
ones that are dictating anything that's going on here. I am going to rush through things because I do apologize to Dave and everybody for derailing it slightly. Paul Markey saying Ange must want the sack, selecting that can of garbage Johnson to start, yet alone in the match squad. I mean, I wasn't really that surprised that Johnson started, to be
Andy,
honest, in this game.
come on, ref. Do the right thing.
I
We
wasn't
want
that
Bar on that.
surprised that Johnson started tonight, Paul Markey, to be perfectly honest. I mean, what I will give credit to Ange for is that it does seem like, Odebear is the one that's at the top of the pecking order right now. And
I
so,
think, Paul,
credit to Ange for, maybe being able to see that.
I think where we're at right now, though, Paul, and I think maybe you would probably understand this, is that, look, no one the other night in the forward line really produced. Odegaard done well carrying the ball, but he didn't really fashion a chance. Johnson did, and I think we're at the point. It's so low on confidence. Postecoglou is just trying to play players who may be in a little bit of form, and hopefully that will inspire us going forward. And I'm thinking that's the reason behind it. That I don't know whether you agree. Let me know, Paul Markey. But look, I would argue. I think he was the only player that did fashion a chance the other night, and I'd argue probably he didn't do too bad off the bench, and probably deserves to start today off what we seen from others the other night.
Yeah.
Even though you know me, I ain't his big fan as a footballer whatsoever.
And then the Spurs Crow is in with us. Good to see you, Paul. Good to see you, Artist T. Like I say, man, again, I derailed the show. I'm going to put my hands up, but I don't want to see Spurs fans being blamed at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, for what everything is going on. Just find it to be ridiculous. Peter Kigeas, I appreciate it, man. It's just, thank you for sending out the memberships. I do appreciate that. People are welcome to come on Monday night. It was a very, very slow evening, the last Monday night. So I'd love to see some more people join us next time. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe people are disillusioned. Maybe people are in hibernation around Spurs, but I would like to see it being busier, the next time for the fan show, because, it's kind of sometimes we get 15, 16 people, calling in, on an evening. I'm not expecting that sort of thing. I imagine that usually is happening when Spurs are in a much better position, or, there's important things, about to happen. But I would like to see, maybe some more people who are members who maybe have never called in, make their debut, because when it's a slow evening, it's not a bad time to make your debut as a fan show member. But it was gifted out to Pig Toucher. What the names today, the usernames today are just insane. Pig Toucher, Leon M96, Dan the Cartman, and nearsighted remembrance, Bob Down Under. Good to see you guys. And Peter, I do appreciate it, man. It's just, I don't want to be called miserable at 5:30 a.m. and I don't want to be blamed for anything that's going on. That's just, I'm sorry to call you out for it, but thank you for the support. It's just, I'm sorry. It's just, I'm at my wit's end right now. I really tried to give the most neutral, happy clapper intro that I could have.
Big up, Peter. Look, really appreciate the support, my man. And look, if it is a case, guys, that, people, maybe want to change the format of the fan show, or you think there's something else we could do with you fans that is more better, more engaging, please feel free to throw suggestions out there for us, and we'll try and put it into action and make it work. But look, do you know what? Big up, Peter. And do you know what? Same with Arch as well. Even though these guys might disagree, on either end of what we're saying, there's still still understand, that you're still here supporting us and that. So I really appreciate it, guys. At the end of the day, this all we're trying to do here is just sort of give our opinions, listen to your opinions and stuff like that, and just try and work out a way of trying to go forward and make this club successful. But big up, Peter. Really appreciate the support.
And then, of course, you guys can tell, we have kicked off and you can't sync up with us. It's just, again, I've I spent too long maybe on various things, but so many people have joined us. Smash the like button for us. And this is an opportunity to try to get some type of momentum, some type of hope and belief before Thursday night. And then Artist T saying there is no pressure. 2 new records might be set, or there is pressure. 2 new records might be set. Yeah, I mean, we probably have had one of the worst ever seasons against some of the bottom teams, Artist T. But I'm in hope that that doesn't happen tonight. I mean, how good, man, do you actually have to beat Southampton? I don't think you even need to
Don't
be a
have to be
good
good
team
at
to
all.
beat Southampton. Surely you just need to be able to complete just a few passes and then be able
You see,
to
like nearly 20
get
odd goals
past.
in like 6 games. You're shocking.
And to be fair, so far we've had a pretty bright start, from what I can tell at
We're
least.
putting
I'm not
balls in the
saying,
box. We're trying. That's for
yeah.
sure.
So it doesn't really take too much to beat the Southampton team, you would think, Artist G. But I see
We
where
do
you're coming
make
from,
teams
man. I
look
see where you're
better,
coming
though.
from.
We do make teams look good.
But man, yeah, from earlier, I appreciate the support. Artist T is just I'm trying to avoid this whole this fan, that fan, blah blah thing. I just think we're all Spurs fans. We all suffer enough. There's no reason for us to have to accuse
Yeah.
each other, attack each other. That's just the point that I come from. There are much bigger problems and issues than the fan base, in my opinion. The fan base are not the ones that are causing the problems right now. But thank you guys for joining us. Kaylee Davis, good to see you, Kaylee. Looking forward to meeting up with you again on Thursday night.
Big
Or
up,
Thursday
Kaylee.
morning, should I say. And plenty of people in here. NJ123. Naughty Paperclip. Love to seeing the comments in here. Naughty Paperclip. I've loved the name, love the username, and thank you for the support, by the way.
Yeah,
And then
big up.
Raktos Madness, my man Alan, up nice and early for this game, Alan. 6 a.m. for you, sir. So big
Well,
up to
good
you,
see
Alan.
you. Big up, Al. Hopefully you're keeping on, man. Oh, let's see how we get on.
Some disgusting pink
Spurs.
hits from Southampton.
Yeah, it's horrible, lad. Well done, Poro. I just want to win and have an Indian. It's been ages since I've been able to have an Indian or a takeaway. That's it. Good pressing. Go on, Salaki. There we go. He's under pressure. Tottenham just forces Southampton backwards. Southampton still trying to pass through it here. It's good pressure. Force Ramsdale to go along. Oh, what a wet wipe. Well done, son. That's ours. Get your head up. Good ball. In behind here. Sonny pulls it back. Solanke. Johnson. Oh, unlucky. Defender does well to track Johnson there and get the block in. Come on, Spurs. That's much better, though. Oh, it's a good pullback as well. Defender does very well to track Johnson. Why can't he just switch off? Why can't he have a lapse in concentration like Basuma? Here we go, Pedro Porro. Into Johnson's feet. Johnson into Bergval. Bergval tries to unleash it. First time round the corner for
Go
Porro.
on, Pedro.
Well done. Pull it back. Pull it back to Johnson. Wins the corner, though. Come on. Let's get a Rom bomb. Come on, Romulus. Let's go. I've been waiting for this all season long. I've missed you, Romero.
Good to see you, DJ AK. Good to see you, Skunky Works. Thanks for the support.
Just your whole gets sore sitting on these fucking chairs for hours. Come on, Porro. Good delivery here.
I need another chair again, Dave.
Good delivery. Oh, it's a save from Ramsdale.
Romero, it looks like.
Oh, it was Romulus and everything with the diving header. Fucking anyway.
Said, how long has it been since a Rom bomb, Dark
I
Sun G?
know.
Dark Sun G, when's the last time we had a Rom bomb?
It was a great ball in. It was a good header. What a save from Ramsdale.
Hell of a header.
Spence. Madison. Back to Spence. Tottenham recycling possession here. Bentancur moves it out to Sonny. What's Sonny doing out this position? Moves it out to Johnson. Johnson play Bergvall. Good ball. Bergvall puts it across. Gone out for a corner kick. Good intent from Tottenham. Good football. This is more like it. Skunkwork says anywhere else and it's in. Yeah, probably. The Supercross says the crazy story. I lost my job I've had for 32 years and not a word of a lie. The guy who decided my role is no longer required is named Daniel Levy. Oh, lad, fucking hell. First of all, commiserations on that. No, is that the right word? I don't know. Look, it's not good anyway. But look, what I will say is use this time. You know, do things that you've always wanted to do, and another job will come along. The right job will come along. Don't sit there stressed, panic, because at the end of the day, it doesn't do anything, only bad things to you. So try to be stress-free about the situation, and, you know, the next job will come along, my man. Well done, Porro. Bergvall, get it in. Come on, Big Dom's there. Get it in.
Oh!
On to Bergvall. Bergvall cuts inside, has a shot. It's weak. Oh, lucky.
Just like the Chelsea game, still a chance for Bergvall. He cuts onto his left foot, and it's a very tame shot.
We've had a number of chances now. We need to take them while we're creating them. I don't think Johnson meant that, but Bergvall as well to get on the end of it. His shots are always sort of tame enough. It's on his weaker foot, though, to be fair.
Johnson with the best ever mistaken touch I've seen in some time.
The switch of play now for Southampton, coming down Tottenham's left-hand side. Walker-Peters plays it in for the winger in behind. Ken Spence stopped the cross from coming in.
Dibbling. Oh, my gosh.
It's off the post. Jesus Christ.
Inside of the post.
And that's a shit
Vicario makes a ridiculous save. It's actually a good save from Vicario. Southampton nearly scored with their first chance.
It's just going to be another cross in the box here. It's good clearance.
I mean, that feels like their first chance, even their first time in our half, Dave, and they nearly score.
Yeah. Again, we're just being doubled up on that fullback situation for crosses or crosses into the box, and it's killing us. How we haven't addressed it by now, I don't understand. Walker-Peters getting another run at Sonny here. Pulls it back. Southampton are just going to put it down the left, put it down the right, and put balls in. Creating little triangles here. Tries to pull Bergvall out. It's gone in behind. Vicario gets there.
We need to take a look again at that save from Vicario. That looks sketchy.
We need to take our chances, because if not, you leave Southampton with confidence and optimism. We need to crush that straight away. Need to take our next chance. It comes off the post. Does it? Let's have another look here.
I think it was inside of the post.
No, Porro gets the block on it. Oh, 1 second. Spence pulls it back. Johnson! Come on! Get in! Brennan's 15th goal of the season. What a delivery by Jed Spence. We've been asking for wingers to do that all season long. Tottenham 1-0 to the good. That's more like it.
A hell of a finish from Brennan, to be fair.
It's a great finish. Wraps it into the top corner. What a ball by Jed Spence. The cameraman was too busy showing us the other chance. Let's actually get the full build-up here. Postecoglou having a go at Madison here, saying something he's not doing is not good enough. But it's Romero. I said it in the pre-match build-up. These long balls into Madison. Look at that. Gets turned. Great ball into Jed Spence. Or into Sonny, I believe. Jed Spence goes on the overlap. Son finds him. Jed Spence pulls it right back into Brennan Johnson's path.
What a cross.
Brennan Johnson on his left foot, actually. You've got to give him credit.
He's a good finisher. You know, he's a great finisher in these scenarios, Brennan Johnson.
What a finish.
As much as, again, people know that our feelings about the guy, we have never criticized him for these type of moves and these type of finishes.
What a finish.
By the way, he is good at. This is what he is good at.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely spot on. If anyone's watched my pre-match build-up or my predicted lineup, you'll see that I mentioned Romero's long balls to Madison, you know, as a different avenue of breaking down or playing through the opposition. So that's absolutely great to see. We've missed that big time. That's absolutely brilliant. What a ball from Romero. What a ball from Madison. And then Spence with the cross. But the finish on Johnson's left boot is absolutely brilliant.
Hell of a cross, hell of a finish. And also a brilliant move by Spurs from the back line.
Yeah, it's a great finish, wrapping it into the top corner.
And
The
he
Alaskan
doesn't want to score
Hotspur.
on Ramsdale as well, the absolute plonker.
Yeah, the more we put by him, the better that'll be. That'll give me a bit of
Take
joy
anything
tonight
at this point.
when I'm
Sorry, Dave.
dipping my naan bread into my tikka masala sauce. The Alaskan Hotspur, remember for 15 months, says great goal, left-footed finished. He absolutely rattled that one into the top corner. It was good. Now let's build on it though, Alaskan. Let's not take our foot off the gas here, but it was a great finish. Absolutely brilliant. How's Alaska getting on, by the way?
Oh, it's been gorgeous in Seattle, Alaskan. So I
Oh,
imagine maybe
no,
you've
no,
gotten
no. It's
similar
towards
weather.
that post. He pulls it back. It's a shot coming in. Good block by Solanke. Solanke got the block in.
But then it fell to, is that Bella Kochap? Is that who they have in the back line? Somebody. Good to
To
see
be
you,
honest,
Alaskan.
usually
No,
I look
thanks
at
for
the
the support.
opposition's lineup. I didn't even bother today. They've got such shit
I mean,
players.
I would never need to look at Southampton's lineup.
Oh, but come on.
You know you're in
1-0.
a bad place when you need to.
See if we can get another goal. Put this game to bed. See, automatically I'm smiling now. I was miserable earlier. Smiling now. Come on. That's what a win could do. Or even a goal. Even a goal, actually, Jack. A
I mean,
good
the
goal.
2-1 win predictions. I
Well
would take
worked
a 2-1. I'd bite anyone's hand off for a 2-1. I'd bite my own hand.
Get after it, Bergval. That's it, Solanke. I'd really love to see
But would
Solanke
love a
grab
cricket
the goal
score.
today. He really needs one. You can see it. His sort of confidence is being drained out of him a little bit. Like, you know, it's something I said when we first signed him. It's a massive difference finishing under no pressure at Bournemouth and finishing at Tottenham where every opportunity counts. You know, massive difference in terms of the pressures. And I just wonder, is that slightly starting to take its toll on him? I'd love for him to score here today and just, you know, see what he can do against Frankfurt. Because the reality is, if we're going to win the Europa League, we need our striker in form. Good ball in. Oh, Johnson, great touch. He's turned into John Aldinho now.
Good
Onto
play.
Bergval. Him and Bergval linking up really well down this side. Bergval gives it away. He was under pressure there by two players. It's cleared. It's all right.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, he's on fire
there.
right now.
Or Bentancur, sorry.
Ref, that's free.
Bentancur.
That's a free.
That's a great pass from Bentancur.
We'll have another Romulus now. It's time.
Johnson almost playing like a man that's under pressure now. With Odebear being taken a spot at the right wing. He looks to be working hard out of possession, moving the ball a bit quicker. Of course, we all know, like we've said before, this guy knows how to be at the right place at the right time and can finish it when he is there.
Skunkwork says, BJ winds me up. I want to sell him. He weakens my argument every now and then, but I have to remind myself, it's Southampton. New Carlsberg's advert coming, possibly the worst team in the world. No, absolutely spot on. Look, I think, if we had a better front
in a game
line,
like this, it is good to have him around just to finish these chances.
100%. And if we had a much better front line and a much better team, you know, would he be an all right squad player to a certain degree? Probably. But the fact that we're relying on him week in, week out, that's where he becomes fully frustrating. And he's not good enough for what we need in that regard. You're absolutely spot on there, Skunkworks. I stick with you on that one.
I just, you know, against a team like Southampton, who you would expect will be looking to sit in against us, and Spurs as well have struggled to put away chances and have struggled to put away goals. Johnson in that situation technically does become a quite, you know, a decent player to have around for that reason. Like when we are struggling to put away chances.
He just cannot hold up a football. He really can't. He wouldn't even be able to hold it if you put it in his fucking hands. Come on, Solanke. It was an easy one to hold up that. Yeah, it was a lovely finish. You're absolutely spot on. Someone laughing at your use of plonker, Jack.
If anything, you're hearing my very lack of sleep and hungover voice as well. So probably it sounds even more yank and morning voice than usual when I'm using that word.
West Coast Spurs makes a good point. Yeah, but why does it always take getting pushed about, losing your spot for guys to step up? Some Johnson.
How it is nowadays.
You're absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on with that, man. Here we go. Good free kick. Back post. Fuck you, Ramsdale. Unlucky.
How it is nowadays, West Coast Spurs.
Rams bottom.
Players end up losing their spot, and all of a sudden they wake up to it instead of realizing that they're the ones who have played themselves into that position.
Why not just grasp it when you're giving it, though? That's what.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all. I think that's West Coast point, right? It's so annoying. Oh, come on, Spurs. Let's go. Come on, you Spurs. By the way, if Southampton go down and they don't get any more points, they will literally go down as the worst ever Premier League team ever. And I remember that Derby County team, by the way. They were useless. Oh, well done. Ref doesn't want to give it to you, but, you know, we'll just
Oh,
come out with it
Madison.
anyway.
Someone make a run
Brilliant.
for him.
Good ball on to Bergvall. Just knock that around.
Oh,
Brilliant touch.
Bearsville. Lovely
Ref.
touch.
No, leave it go. Porro, have one. Come on. Oh, he
have a
chooses to
crack.
go. Johnson crosses
Johnson.
unlucky. Comes off the first man. Porro could have maybe smacked that one, Jack.
Yeah, I thought he could have gone for a hit there.
Unleash the Porronator. DJ's calling you the American Del Boy. Do you ever watch Only Fools and Horses, Jack?
Sounds familiar, but no, I don't think
That's
I
funny.
have.
It's brilliant. It's funny.
Jet Spence out wide to Sonny. Place it back to Davis, who's very high up in the pitch. Spurs really caved in or camped in, and
Johnson with the good cross. Oh, it was a good way
spoke too
behind
soon
that
on the.
It was a good delivery. It was good power behind it. Just defender was in the right place there. The first one was shocking. That one was much better.
Yeah, get up, Dibbling. 100 million pounds, my ass. Referee giving them a free kick there. I didn't really see much of a foul at that point, but maybe then, something had to be stopped. Joe Rebo coming to Tyler Dibbling's rescue there. And for a guy that's rated 100 million pounds, he's really starting to wear the haircut and the short socks like he is. I mean, geez, it's a little sad.
Up since 4 a.m. If you're not slept at all, are you having a rollover? Are you out last night? Let me know. Rams bottom going to go long here.
Really appreciate it, though, Naughty Paperclip. Thanks for becoming an elite member, by the way. Very, very kind of you.
Yeah, fair play. I really appreciate that. Oh, Jesus. Well done, Davis. Good cushion header. Oh, Jed.
Oh,
That's
lovely
beautiful.
cushion header.
Oh,
for
this
Jed.
is beautiful football. Go on, Jed. Just go.
Sir!
Ref, can we get some protection going on here, please? That's a yellow card. That's absolutely filthy. That's a yellow. Right, he's going down on my list. He's booked. One more of them and he's gone. Vicario, don't do anything you done the other night. Anything but what you done the other night with the ball at your feet. Thank you. The Porronator. Shit ball.
Walker Peters out to Dibbling.
We better not spend money on him this summer.
I mean, what I don't really gain any confidence from is this guy's really, dressed like as if he is a 100 million pound footballer when I haven't really seen him do much this season.
Like, don't get me wrong, he's decent enough, but he's not what we need where we're at now. Oh, well done. Well read, Bentoncourt. Well done, Benny.
I mean, it should be illegal to have this many 17-year-olds on the books. In our case.
Any other business with that amount of 17-year-olds on the books would be investigated. Long ball. Come on, Dom. Bully him. Well done, Dom. Go on, get on the end of that. Your own knock on. Unlucky. Oh, Sonny, get on your toast. Ooh, Ramsbottom looking nervous. His ass is falling out.
There are a few players in the Southampton team that are real Premier League rejects to some extent. You have Ramsdale. You have the Chelsea signing, the midfielder there, like Unga Kuchu, or forget his name. Former Stade Rennes player. Oh, lovely play from Johnson again.
He started on smoke today. Paul Markey. How are you feeling about Johnson starting again today, lad?
Jinxed him, Paul. You jinxed him.
Anytime Paul opens his mouth against Johnson, he scores. I've noticed that. Do you know what? Maybe Paul does it on purpose. Oh, good ball by Bergvall. Oh, unlucky.
Good run from Madison.
Yeah, it's a great run from Madison. It's a great delivery of this is what we were asking for. Well done. Oh, he's on fire today, ref. That's ours. Oh, fuck off, ref. Oh, stupid there. Stupid from Pedro Porro. It's absolutely brain dead defending that. You've got him facing away from goal. You don't need to take him down.
I was a fan of the pink jerseys or the pink kits of Parma. I think Parma had some pink kits, or it was also Juventus, a while ago had some pink kits. It's just for Southampton too. It's I don't know. I'm not a big fan of these pink kits.
No, they're horrible.
But I think it was Juventus. Juventus, when they had the Jeep logo, they used to have the pink kits, and I actually loved those. Good turn from Matters. Or it might have been Solanke. Yeah, I think it was Madison. Lovely play by Madison and good pass into him.
Free kick here. Let's see if we can fashion something.
Daniel Larson. Good to see you, Daniel Larson. I don't even want Dibbling as my sibling.
Honestly, if we waste money on Dibbling, I'm going to lose my mind. I mean,
Daniel Larson's on the MC like Dave.
We need certain players of quality, right? This summer. If we because the thing is, you buy a few quality players, you can really kick this team on massively. Signing someone like Diblin or even sanctioning the money. On Matisse Tell. It's just the wrong thing to do in my opinion. Unlucky there. Romero again at the back post. This guy's dying to score for Dave. Ref, we'll have that. Oh, you dick. He's giving it against Romero. Big up, Ed Martin. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're keeping well. Tyler says get the cards out. Don't worry, I've got them with me. Yellow and reds today, Tyler.
Hell of a header.
Remo says the pink kit is the only reason Johnson's turned up. Skunkwork says, does the squad have to wear club matching briefs? Do you know, I remember Peter Crouch saying that, the club do sort of give you jocks and all that sort of stuff, yeah? What's wrong with Ramsbottom now? Romero, leave something on him.
He saved that header with his face, is what they're saying.
Oh, brilliant. Well done, Romero.
So Romero's had two big headers.
That was a good ball by Pedro Porro.
Saved it with
right
his head.
Off the forehead. Brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant from Romero.
That one should have gone in the back of the net.
We can't sell this guy this summer. We just can't. We really have to keep him.
He was the best player, in my opinion, against Chelsea.
Best player against Chelsea. He's our best defender overall. We really have to keep him.
That's a test of a good player. And people are welcome to disagree in this case. This is where I do invite disagreement, and I do invite people to have different opinions. But genuinely, like the way he stood out against the rest against Chelsea, I think just shows that this guy is a top class player. Because I don't think many other players were actually. A lot of people were trying. A lot of people were trying their hardest, but I don't think there were that many players that were playing that well.
Yeah.
But I think actually Romero would be an exception. I think Romero was playing well against Chelsea.
Stuart Davidson says they're wearing edible panties. Oh, you're a sick guy. They are a thing, though. They are a thing. You are right. Steve Webb says, just looked at the table. Big up, Steve Webb. Good to see you, my man. Southampton relegated today if they don't get at least a point. No, 100% they're scrapping for their lives today. Scrapping for their lives. Hopefully we can absolutely, put an end to that. It's a good job that we score because last thing we want to do is give them belief. Tottenham Logic TV, good to see you, sir. Hopefully you're keeping well. Haven't heard you say Madison's name yet. What he's doing? No, Madison's done all right. It was Romero that played that long ball to him, that he played it on to Son on to Spence. Madison's done well. He's doing all right.
I don't think there's really anybody I would be critical of so far.
No. This right-hand side has been good.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone's playing well for the most part, Tottenham Logic.
Of course, let's not get too carried away. Everyone plays well against Southampton, but, it's good to see from a Tottenham point of view. For once, Spence puts the overlap from Madison. He's asking a lot of Madison there. Does he win a corner? No, unlucky.
Or might have been offside.
No, goal kick. I think he come back off him. Unlucky. Spence was asking a lot of them there.
Daniel Larson saying that moment with Romero was better than a goal.
Yeah. I really hope Romero scores today. Patrick O'Donnell says he's playing like he wants to be here. That's an absolute fair point. Lauren Deb says Romero is world class when he wants to be. Fair. Ollie says Romero is class, but he thinks he's better than what he is. Q7, good to see you. Afternoon, lads. Are we dominating? All I'm asking for today. Look, we're dominating possession. We've created a few chances. We're 1-0 up. It's going in the right direction. Be nice to see us take a few more before half time. But look, we're winning games. Or we're winning at the minute. Let's see what happens.
It is amazing that Ange still needs a big overcoat, when it's 60 degrees outside.
Free kick to Tottenham. That's a yellow card, ref. Come on, pull out the cards.
This guy must have grown up on planet Venus or something like that.
Yeah, we're good, Tottenham logic. It's just hard when Tottenham are going through this cycle all the time. Everyone blaming everyone, and I just wish everyone could come together and put the blame where it actually needs to go, my man. But good to see you. Hopefully you're keeping well. Look, we're all hoping for a big win today. Lily White India, great to see you as well. Soul Sniper Gaming as well. Good to see you. Sean Brown as well. Brilliant to see you, my man.
It's 15 degrees out there.
Jack's concerned about Ange's goal.
Again, I'm like, I love warm weather, but the other day I had the same weather and I was rocking a t-shirt.
Davies. I used to be that guy. I used to wear t-shirts all the time when I was younger, even in the winter, a t-shirt. When I got the older you get, the more I feel the cold.
He's got a rain jacket on and it's 15 degrees.
Maybe he's the smartest guy in the room. Maybe it's going to piss rain out of nowhere. We just don't know about it.
King Hoddle, good to see you.
Big up, King Hoddle. Good to see you, my man. Hopefully you're keeping well.
Not sure my pulse will exceed 56 today, says Skunkworks. Yeah, listen, like,
get the pressure on. Well done,
Ramsdale
Johnson.
And the center back didn't know which one wanted it.
Nah, they're looking ropey. There's a few extra goals here for us today if we want this. Bergval. He's played well today. On to Porro. Keeps going forward. Keep driving forward. Ref. Fuck me, ref. How many times are you going to keep letting them pull us down? Start pulling out the cards and get a grip of this game. It's every time now they're pulling us down. Every time. I mean, look at that. There's no even intention to get the ball. He's just grappling Porro. Even his missus doesn't grapple like that. Fuck me.
I think I like Porro's pink boots more than I like the pink kits. Did you ever rock any pink boots, Dave?
No, mine were white. I rocked a pair of green Adidas ones 1 year, but mine were either white or black, Jack. I used to like the white ones when I was feeling it. When I was a winger playing up front, I used to like the white ones. And then, if they ever needed me to do a job in midfield or whatever, I'd put the black ones on. Go right, Keane. Good ball in the back post again. Romero, Bergval. Yes!
Oh, come on!
Come on! Come on, Lucas.
A little poke in the back of the net. Basically, just the scrappiest of goals that Spurs needed. Come on, 2-0.
We'll have that. 2-0. Lucas deserves that. He's been brilliant today. He's been absolutely brilliant. He deserves that. It's another ball towards the back post. Our boys are winning these headers all game long. And then that one, look, there's a degree of fortune off it. Bergval can't believe it. But at the end of the day, if you put yourself in the right place, that's what happens. Let's see if everyone stays on side here.
Maybe
who heads it in the end?
There, maybe something close there, but practically off of someone's backside type of goal. But
this could be ruled out. This just could be ruled out. It's Romero that wins the header yet again. Or him or Solanke, one of them. I think both of them actually went for it. No.
Him and Dave. Oh, no, it was
Romero. Romero wins the header.
Guy's just throwing his head at
He's won 3 or 4 of them already now. Could be, could potentially, the foot of the player marking the guy here at the near post could be keeping him on here, actually, Jack. I think he is, Yeah, this goal will be allowed. This goal will be allowed.
Don't you dare cup your ears. Don't you dare cup your ears yet. Don't you dare wave.
No, I agree. I don't think it's offside, H. Limpy says it's onside.
Everyone hold back from cupping your ears. Everyone hold back.
At what point does Ange cup his ear to the fans now as a joke? He's way on. Come on, I can see this from here. That big idiot at the front post is keeping them on. That
Everybody
big
get
lurch.
ready to cup your ears. Everybody get ready. It looks like we can cup them.
We'll wait till we get the third. We're still not 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline.
3-0. We'll cup the ears at 3-0.
Yeah. 3-0. I'll sit here with my hands permanently cupped to my ears. Oh, no. Fuck's sake, VAR. We had about 10 minutes of the game last week on Thursday night, gone because of VAR taking so long. I can see this from here. I don't need a line. I don't have 20/20 vision. Fuck me. Oh, no, wait. Actually, maybe that angle proves he is offside. Actually, I take it all back. Maybe they are going to come to the right decision.
One of the downsides of the new stadium is they have a bazillion camera angles, compared to other ones. All the other stadiums, they only give you like 1 or 2 camera angles. Where at Spurs, they just have a bazillion to choose from.
Fuck me, with how long fucking VAR are taking in games, there's going to be some company that's going to start sponsoring people and getting them to plug during VAR. It's taking that long now. Fucking hell. Offside, people saying offside. Can we sub VAR off? Clear and obvious, Drewzilla. Fair.
And they always show the best angle last. Fuck me.
People saying they'd love to see VAR binned. I agree with you, Ray. I've never liked it in the first place. I never wanted it to come in. I think once you start going down that route, I just think it's a shady route to go down.
Well, this is where Jan Bednarek is. Whenever I'm down and out with Spurs, I always need to know where Jan Bednarek is playing, and it turns out he's at Southampton.
Oh my God! This
forever
is
the relegation defender. He's always just rotated amongst relegation teams.
Someone's going to pull a hamstring if this continues. From behind, from that angle, he looks.
Yeah, that's the bizarre part. It's like, how is one angle make it look like he's onside, and then the other one he's well off?
Well, that's the thing. That's why VAR doesn't work for me or any of this shit. It's a load of bollocks. They're just looking to give it to disallow it. It's Tottenham. Any other club, if this is Liverpool that scored this, they're giving it by now.
Oh, come on, VAR. Some of us have a tea time later.
I have an Indian to get to. It's not going to be given, is it? If they're taking this long, it's not going to be given. Jesus Christ. Even the people in the stands are getting bored of this.
Ange Postecoglou holding back so hard from cupping his ears.
Well, he only fucking lambasted VAR the other day. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say if this thing carries on taking this long. Look, he's timing it now. He's got his watch. He's timing it. You're just all this is doing as well is just killing our momentum that we're building. Where are we at now? 4 minutes, guys? Jesus Christ, it took that long not to give it. Fuck me, come on. Not given. Not given.
Taken back.
Yeah, all my celebrations are
Romero, though, again, everybody's really throwing his head at everything tonight. Something that he has improved on, I'd say, in the last sort of season or so. He has gotten a lot better in the air.
I'd argue he's always been a good threat from set pieces.
Yeah, it's more like a threat. He's not maybe, defensively, he's all right with defending headers, but especially attacking them. You are right, Dave. He's actually quite decent. He really likes to throw his body at it.
Yeah.
Spurs, though, they need to remind themselves they didn't score that goal, though. They need to still push for that second. Once they do get that second, you'd like to think that Southampton are out, and it'd be good for us to get the second before halftime.
But I just don't want these VAR decisions keep taking hours to make because it's actually killing your rhythm and the momentum, It's slowing at the end of the day, if you're Southampton, you want that VAR decision to go on 4 or 5 minutes, slow the game down, kill our momentum. It's a fucking joke, this VAR. It's killing the whole game. And you know what? Finally, we've got a referee that actually wants to referee. You look at his haircut. This guy's just focused on refereeing. It's a shit haircut.
Dave's asking for yet again or another bald referee of all the bald referees.
Oh, come on, Vic. Oh, Vic. Oh, well done, Vic. Yeah, we'll have some protection on that. You're dead right,
Didn't
Vic.
look like a foul.
No, it's only when it's going against us, lad, it's given.
Yeah, that is a foul.
Come on, 5 minutes till half-time. Probably another 5 added on, I would argue. Big up chat though, over 388 in-house, only 131 likes. If you could keep running them likes up, that'd be greatly beneficial towards us. JH is VAR trying to wind us. Honestly, it's wound me up ever since it's come in. Jack knows I'm not a big fan of it. I'm a bit conspiratorial towards it, actually. I think the timing is appropriate for a lot of the big clubs. When it came in, you look at a lot of the leagues around. A lot of the big clubs were starting to be caught up. All of a sudden, VAR comes in, and now they're back at the top of their leagues again. Son, good ball. Spectacular. James Maddison, Spence and Son love playing together. Romulus. Feeds it out to Porro. Porro into Johnson's feet. Good ball. Get your head up. Look at Bergval. Lucky. Davies. Let's see what he can do. Good ball out to Sonny. Tottenham just trying to draw Southampton out here before they go in behind. Romero into Johnson's feet. This is more like it, getting out to wingers nice and early. Go on, Dom.
Very
well done,
direct
Dom.
from Johnson. Well done.
Good ball. Well done. Johnson, get the head up.
Bentancur, get in there, Solanke.
Oh, well done, Solanke. Well done, James.
Someone onto it.
Oh, he's on. He's on. He's on. He's on. Come on. Oh, is he off? He's on. Come on. What a finish. And I have to give serious credit to Dom Solanke there, bullying the man off the ball and keeping that alive.
Action in there, Dave. The clunky man just throwing his body in there.
Throwing himself around. He keeps it alive. But you know what? That's a great finish from Johnson, and he's on. I think it was Bergval that was offside, but I think Johnson is definitely on from what I could tell. Brilliant move by Tottenham yet again. It's good football. Bit of luck involved, but look, I would argue it's been long overdue. It's a good ball round by Johnson into Solanke. Solanke does very well there, holds it up, gets it laid off. Johnson with another good ball in the box, something we've been asking him to do. It's a clearance, Dom Solanke, causes havoc. This is what I've been saying, put balls in the box. Great header by Maddison. Well, I mean, Bergval and Johnson are both onside, but it's Johnson that taps it home. Bergval has the awareness to leave it. It's a good all-round goal here. It's a good cheeky finish by Johnson.
Great header from Madison. Great finish from Johnson. That's a fabulous finish.
Fuck you, Rami.
Fabulous finish from Johnson.
Oh, it's a great finish. Ramsbottom is beaten again. It's not the first time he's picking the ball out the back of his net today.
Two little clunky weight room moments from Solanke there, Dave. Just threw his body in there, on both occasions, just got his body in front of the hold-up play, was able to get a lucky bounce, play the ball out wide.
Much better.
And then there, it's real relegation number 9 forward play from him.
What I like today,
it's like
though,
Charlie Austin. It's like a Charlie Austin or something, of times past.
But what I like today, though, Jack, is how many balls have we put into the box? Loads. That's why we're creating chances.
Yeah, we're so much more
That's
direct.
why I've been asking for Johnson. Throw the ball in the box because you create havoc. You create this. You destabilize the opposition backline, and you get luck like that. That's why I've been screaming all season. Put the ball in the box, and this is the result of it. It was a good cross. Okay, they cleared it, but that's where Dom Solanke comes in. Get out my bloody way. Brilliant. I really want him to score today.
Johnson hat-trick.
Yeah, he could get a hat-trick before half-time.
Also, they did answer the call, though. Fair play to Spurs. Well done by Johnson. Well done by everybody. A pretty team goal. But a great finish from Johnson, and we did need to get that second. We did.
I do think, Paul Markey deserves all the credit for Johnson's form today. Because I think whenever he comes in about Brennan Johnson, the fucker turns up. Oh, lucky that's a good effort putting them in behind. That's what we want to see. Stretch the play, different avenues. I'm appreciating it a little bit today. Big up Andrew Sparshoff. Good to see you. Hopefully you're keeping well. Rope, KD, the crosses are coming from Porro mainly. No, look, yeah, I agree, but Johnson's put in a few as well. He's actually played well today. Johnson for a Bundesliga hat-trick. Drew says put in a couple of half-defense crosses too, even if they're being blocked. Exactly. But this is the thing, Drew. This is what I've been saying constantly. Get the ball in the box. When you're not creating or you're not fashioning great chances, put the ball in the box. Don't play it so safe. You must be delighted though, Drew. Your boy with 2.
If anything, the blocked crosses today have been better defending than before. In times past with Johnson, he would have acres of space, and then somehow the cross would still get blocked. But in this game, he's done, I think, very, very well. He's been very bright down that right side.
Yeah.
Wow, what a game over there. Someone is right. 3-1 Fulham.
Getting smashed. Liverpool getting smashed.
But it's not even half time. 4 goals inside a half.
Fucking hell.
Thank you, Vic. New contract in the morning for Ange.
No.
Says Skunkworks. That's brilliant. Secretly loving it, says Drusilla. No Brazilian name crossover yet, though.
No. Look, let's not. Like I said, I'm going to enjoy it
as
today.
long as he's contributing to the cricket scoreline predictions. I know Dermotron went for a 5-0. Plenty of us went for a 2-1. We'll take it right now. And he's been one of the best players, if not the best player in this half, I'd say, Drew. So, as much as Dave and I have our opinions, but we try to be as fair as possible. And even in the Chelsea game, fair play to Dave. I thought Dave was, actually very fair to Johnson in the Chelsea game. He was bright off of, at least in the watch along. I remember Dave being quite fair to him in the Chelsea game.
See, this thing, I am fair with people. I like to. I try to deal in.
Even if you have your deeper,
even if I have
opinions,
my opinion, I will be fair. You know what I mean?
in the moment, yeah, in the moment in time. It's the ability to handle 2 things at once.
Like, do I still think he's good enough going forward as a starter in this football team? No, I don't. But I'll give credit where credit's
You
due.
can acknowledge he's having a good game. Yeah. Again, though, this guy Tyler Dibbling, 100 million pounds. Maybe 100,
honestly,
maybe 100 million Wong.
This player's going to cost 100 million. It's like, yeah, but do you know who our fucking chairman is? You ain't paying that for
maybe
anybody.
100 million francs. Maybe
you could say give him 100 million for Haaland. He's still not going to pay it. He's still finding an excuse to not pay it. The fucker. He'd probably question Haaland's winning ability or something. Do you know what I mean?
$100 million for Brennan Johnson to have 2 times the game, to him. It's just, what is Johan Lange cooking, and what is Southampton cooking?
Go long, Romulus. Good ball into Slikey.
Oh, lovely hold up play.
Hold it. Go, John. Go, Spence. Play Sonny now. Oh, play Sonny. Back to Spence. Unlucky. It's good football. You're off. You're off. You're off. Don't touch it, you fucker. Southampton on the breakaway here. Johnson, that's much better work right there as well.
Yeah, that's what I've also noticed today is he's worked a lot harder out of possession all of a sudden.
Should have done that fucking weeks ago.
Years ago. Months ago. But, the pressure's on him. Odebear's taking a spot. You can tell.
Yeah. It's amazing that what a bit of competition does, doesn't it? All of a sudden you start running around like a blue-ass fly. Southampton running at Porro here. Deals with it expertly. That's brilliant. Let's see if we can find a 60-yard ball off the back of it. Give me something to wank off to. Tries 1-2 with Johnson. That's unlucky, that. Why's Porro gone pressing up there? Get back into right back, you mad egg. I think both teams are just waiting for half-time now.
7 minutes even enough for how long we spent on VAR?
Yeah, I would argue it's fair enough.
I'm just joking, really. It's just they did. I do feel for Angie is right. They spent ages.
Oh, good save for carry on. Q7 says, have to enjoy any Spurs win and win even Johnson scoring, but stay grounded and realistic to who it's against at the same. No, 100%, and that's where I'm at. I've said this today. I know it's not going to, solve all the problems. I know we're not out of the woodwork and stuff like that, but, I'm not going to get too carried away either. It doesn't fix anything. It doesn't solve anything. But at the end of the day, like you said, we just want to win some games of football, and I will enjoy it if we win it. But don't get me wrong, I ain't going to get too carried away. That's for sure.
Hell of a touch from Solanke there.
If we win Thursday night, I might get carried away though, Q7.
At the end of the day, we needed to win this to give ourselves, again, to give ourselves that sense of belief.
Ref, he's just took the fucking heels from underneath him. Don't you dare, you pillock. That's shit refereeing, that.
Ivan Juric, the Southampton manager, really looks like an evil professor.
Ugly Fish Dibbling is 25 million, but then English plus 30 million and haircut plus 25 million.
Yeah, seriously, man. The haircut, the short socks, the small shin pads. It's just like, is that what we're buying?
Oh, fucking hell.
Like a Justin Bieber of a footballer. He's he's all gear, no idea type of player.
Yeah. All the gear, no idea.
There you go, Solanks.
Good ball.
Maybe forced it there.
Spence,
go
he's
on,
there.
Spence.
Don't you dare, right? Pull it back. Spence. Oh, you should have pulled it back.
Maybe a little
Sonny,
selfish there.
Who's that? Yeah. Sonny's fuming. Look, I don't blame him. Fuck it. 2-0 up. Why not? And I don't want to hear Son complaining. The amount of times he's had better positions to pass and he hasn't.
Good point, actually. Good point.
I don't want to hear him complaining at all.
Son, how many times has Son taken that for himself this season?
Sean M, exactly. A win is a win. There'd be few and far to come between. And everyone knows that when we win, Dave likes a cheeky takeaway. So, but the local Indian takeaway is going to be very, very happy with me today. He's been missing my my money.
All of the takeout places have been struggling for business.
They're all going under.
Lose so much.
Well, there we have it, guys.
Dave's the healthiest man he could be. Dave's the healthiest he could ever be because of it. Hey, everybody, give us your thoughts. Let us know what you think. This is kind of what we wanted. This is what I was looking for. I wanted to be at sort of a 2-0 position at halftime. We could sort of ride into the rest of this game in some sort of happy clapper mood. And, this is what Spurs fans, including myself, just needed. We just needed the taste and the feeling of what could be. You don't want to speak too soon, but what could be a win today. And I'm feeling good, Dave. I'm very, very pleased with the performance. I'd say the right-hand side, particularly Porro, Johnson, Bergvall, probably the best of the team so far. Can't really say anyone's having a bad game, really. I think everyone's played pretty well for the most part. And the sun is shining in London. Sun is shining here, or maybe not here anymore in Seattle, but it was yesterday. Good weekend.
No, look, at the end of the day, Jack,
just kind of watching a nice game of Spurs, but no real consequences. Maybe like Dark Sun G mentioned, earlier. I guess the consequences is, if we were, let's say, 2-0 down, I think we probably would be losing our heads here. But, it feels good to be 2-0 up, and it feels good to be cruising.
No, look, it just feels good to score a couple of goals as well. How many goals have we watched games where we can't even get a shot on target? And look, we've created plenty of chances. Look, let's not get too carried away. At the end of the day, it is only Southampton. Most teams carve these open. Even we carved them open earlier on, 5-1 at their place earlier on in the season. But there was a lot of pressure around the club today. The protest, Ange Postecoglou, the way he reacted to the Spurs fans at the Chelsea game. This is the game where Conte famously walked out in mad fashion with what he said about the football club. Heading into this game, there was so much pressure. It's good to see that we are winning this game. But also, let's not get too carried away because We were cruising against Brighton earlier on in the season, and we lost 3-2. You know, how many other games have we lost from winning positions? You know, we have shown this season we cannot hold on to wins, whether we go or hold on to results, whether we go one behind and try and claw it back, or whether we go ahead. So let's not get too carried away. I do think we need another goal. You know, them players, Southampton players, are scrapping for their lives as it stands. They will officially be relegated. They'll be made well aware of that in the dressing room. And I would expect them to come out and show a bit more fight in the second half. And also, this Tottenham team hasn't put on a proper 90 minutes in I don't know how long. So I'm not going to get too carried away, but I do hope we can come out in similar fashion, because I do think we've played decent enough. We've fashioned a few chances, had a goal disallowed. Romero's forced the keeper to put off a couple of saves. Jed Spence has as well. You know, Bergvall has, made the keeper make a save. So we're playing well. We're fashioning chances. But let's take more of them in the second half. Let's 4 or 5 on this. That means I can have chips and rice tonight instead of just one or the other, and that'd be brilliant.
More than one chicken korma could be in the cards for Dave today, or more than one curry could be in the cards for Dave today. Again, everybody, please send in your thoughts, send in your ideas, send in your comments, or just enjoy the vibes with us. Just want to take a quick moment though to take a look at the top of the chat there, pinned at the top, exclusive NordVPN deal, sponsoring us for the rest of the campaign here for the rest of this season. If you're not able to watch the game today, you can take a look at that link there, grab yourself a VPN, move yourself to a different country, get yourself a streaming service. Usually it's actually quite cheap, around the world to be able to watch Premier League games. But if you are located, let's say near the UK, it can actually be quite expensive for you. But then if you moved yourself someplace else, you will be able to watch it for a lot cheaper. And you would be able to save yourself the trouble of having to go to any sort of dodgy websites or anything like that. Could end up corrupting your computer. Speaking of anything corrupting your computer, good reason to have a VPN. You can save yourself from having your data being stolen, your passwords, your bank details, any of that sort of stuff. Because when you end up being on public Wi-Fi's at like the airport, or just, at the library, or any place you might be going, maybe you're in the train station, that type of thing, you can end up actually having your details and your data up for grabs. And so if you have a VPN turned on, you can turn on a sort of a protection mode, kind of security mode with the NordVPN, which does protect your details. Share it up to 10 different devices. So you just grab one deal, and then you would be able to share it amongst yourself as well as your whole family, or with other devices that you might have. Because plenty of us, we have a phone, we have a laptop. Sometimes some of us have another laptop or a TV, plenty of those sort of things. And you can then be able to plug it into all those sort of devices so that you make sure that you're secure everywhere. And as well, when you're on vacation, you can be able to stay up to date with any of the TV shows you might be watching, any of the things that you might be using to distract yourself from Tottenham Hotspur sometimes. And now these days, people are going on vacation. They are going to nice warm weather places to enjoy themselves. And you can use that VPN to be able to keep up to date and not have to be frustrated by, you can't access this Netflix show. Oh, you can't access, this sort of Hulu or HBO. And plenty of good reasons to have a VPN. Nowadays, I kind of think you do need one. So if you are in the search for one, if you are in the market for one, feel free to use ours. NordVPN, get yourself a 2-year plan, use the code FLATCAP. And in case you don't like it, 30-day money-back guarantee. So no consequences at all. But thank you guys. And thanks for joining us for this game. And also, if you are experiencing, I believe it's one of the 2 p.m. blackout, sort of days, Dave. So that's another reason, in case you're having trouble there, good reason to use it as well, just so that you can watch the game with us. Let's go to some people in the house, though. Clark Kent saying a win is a win. I mean, that's what Dave and I said from the get-go. Literally, that was my opening words, today. I just am looking for a win of some kind, and I'll take it no matter what. I don't need to even read that deep into it. I just like to see Spurs winning, and I'm that sort of person. It could be the ugliest win possible. It could be a 2-0 win against, I don't know. It could be a 2-0 win against Ipswich Town. It could be a 2-0 win against Tamworth. I'm going to be a happy man at the end of the day. That's just the way I see it. Trinidad saying, smash that like. Everybody, if you have joined us for this watch-along, do smash it. Just sends this out to more and more people. And we do really appreciate you guys for picking us as your watch along destination. Illmatic saying I was nervous and sweating the entire first half of that match. Illmatic, man, need to calm down because the bigger one is on Thursday, man. This is the one that you need to be relaxed for, is what I say. But good to see so many people on. Terry Betts saying we're still on track for a 6-0. I mean, Dave, what sort of score prediction did Durbitron go for? Did he go for anything huge? I think I heard towards the end of your pre-match build-up when I was waking up this morning. I think I heard a 5-0 from him.
Yeah, I think so. I think he said 5, yeah.
Shawnee Maddox saying Bernaldo question mark. We're not going that
Sean's
close yet.
ridiculous.
Drewzilla even saying he's not going to go there yet, Sean, but I appreciate the housery. I like the housery. Alan Rakdos Madness, elite member for 12 months. Thank you so much, Alan, especially being with us for as long as a year. That feels like, you've been with us longer, but, a year, we'll take it, my man. You've been very, very kind to us for a long, long time now. He's saying, love to see the team putting in an offensive display. See what happens when they put in crosses, question mark. Love to both of you, my dudes. Thank you, Alan. Very, very kind to us, dude. I mean, Dave and I, we were complaining about that in the Big Up fan show. We were saying like Spurs just sometimes are just so indirect, so many times it's just triangles, passing sequences, 6-yard passes amongst each other. And then they miss any good opportunity to put a ball in the box, a ball over the top, try to play someone in behind. Sometimes you watch them and it's like, why is no one just taking that initiative to be direct? And looks like we are doing it this game, let alone it is only Southampton, but you hope that maybe that can change, for the remainder of this season. I think it's a big problem for why we've seen so many frustrations with that forward line is no one just takes that initiative just to force the opposition to defend something. Put in a bad cross, they still have to defend it. Put in a bad shot, the keeper still has to save it, and sometimes it just seems like they're just focusing too much on trying to create the most perfect goal you've ever seen. Just try to force someone to do something, force someone to defend something, and you will get your rewards for it. And from that, I think we've actually sort of generated that belief that, okay, we can cause this team problems. The goals that we scored have actually been pretty nice. Johnson, 2 great finishes, but came off the back of some really good play. The first one, that great ball out to Sonny playing the overlap to Spence. Great finish from Johnson, but a really good cross from Jed Spence. And then later on, nice little hold that play from Dom Solanke, plays it out wide, similar goal. Then we get a lucky bounce of the ball, sort of shoulders off a guy, and in that situation as well, right? We crossed it in and we were able to get a good bounce of the ball. Madison was able to cushion it onto Johnson and we scored a decent goal. So you're absolutely right, Alan. I mean, Dave, putting in crosses into the box, you get your rewards.
Look, it's been something I've been trying to say for a long, long time, But the reality is, we've got into a pattern where we've been playing safe. Everyone's been playing everything in front of the back line. And I'm not being funny. But that's what the opposition set up to try and make you do, all week. You're actually just helping them execute their game plan. You've been screaming at times this year, and many people out there tuning in. Try different things. Put the ball in behind the defence. Put crosses in the box. Force them to defend. That's what we haven't done nearly anywhere near enough this season. Is actually force the opposition to defend. We put boxes in the balls into the box there today. And the amount of chances that we fashioned off the back of it, we could easily be 4 or 5 up if we took every single chance. We've created good chances. And the reason why is because you put the ball in the box, you create havoc. You get second people on the edge of the box waiting for that ball to bounce like we did for the second goal. You create chances. And we haven't seen that anywhere near enough this season. And I'll be honest, it's quite a shame that it's took for us to be under so much pressure and against the Southampton team for us to deliver this. But hopefully coming out of this to take confidence going forward and go, do you know what, put the ball in the box rather than be so hesitant the way they have done at times this season. But look, like I said, they're not going to get carried away at Southampton. I mean, you'll carve these open together, Jack.
Fat Tony saying ice, Bergvall. They're very, very nice from Fat Tony.
By the way, I do see a lot of people in the chat giving out about that VAR decision. A lot of people are saying it's wrong. And James, no, it's not. It's not vodka. My missus just handed me a McCaff iced, I don't know, whatever it is.
I'm actually jealous that Dave doesn't drink because
it's very sour.
I'm jealous that Dave doesn't drink because I would be experiencing less of a hangover, from last night. Plenty of times, I regret, even enjoying the taste of beer. I wish I was more like Dave, having a smoothie right now at this moment in time.
So sour.
Skunkworks as well. Great comment. Simon Gibbs, thank you for the generous support. I'm not sure if I see a comment, though, that was put with it. If you're just sending in a donation, we really do appreciate it. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for picking us
up, Simon.
as your watch-along companion. Hopefully you're doing okay, my friend. Hopefully you're enjoying your weekend. If you're out in the UK or wherever you might be, hopefully it's nice sunny weather, enjoyable weekend, and you get a Spurs win with it. It's not been often this season that you've been able to get a Spurs win with a nice weekend, but thank you for the generous support, my friend. Yeah, Dave, for the most part for you, just quickly enjoying your weekend. I know you had a an ankle injury, unfortunately, which might not have made it, much easier. But Dave, by the way, everybody powering through, but we're keeping him as far away from the medical team of Spurs as possible, because if we got him and, near them, I think this ankle injury would turn into a broken leg.
I think unfortunately I might have to go to fucking A&E tomorrow and get an X-ray just to make sure that it's not broken or something like that, because it could be tendons either. I know I've done my tendons or ligaments in this ankle before, but look, at the end of the day, I'm not sitting here comfortable either because my leg's cramped up underneath this desk and it's hurting my foot. But when we win, it makes it all worth it at the end of the day, Jack. Hopefully we can see this through now the second half. It'd be nice for these players out there to go to about 65 minutes, bag another couple, and then get some players off the bench like your Spurs, maybe maybe good opportunity for Richarlison even. No, Richarlison didn't make the bench, did he? But,
No,
players like
yeah,
that
he
to
is
come
on the
off the
bench.
bench. Oh, he is. Players like that to come off the bench and get a bit of confidence into them as well. This is what today's game was all about. It was never a game that we could throw away. It was always a game where we should be using it to build some confidence into our players to carry that over into Frankfurt, and we're doing that so far. But the argument would be if it stays like this, everyone, it's only 2-0, it's against the worst team in the league. We do need to gloss this scoreline up. But look, all in all, I think we've approached it the right manner, and hopefully we can see it out now and grab more goals. But yeah, my weekend's going good, Jack. Be even better once I get my Indian down my throat later on. That's when, it's going to be a great weekend. So hopefully we see this through.
I mean, I take a good, I take anything, I take any sort of type of win, but 2-0 up, at halftime against Southampton, you absolutely take it. And I know everyone's going to say it's only Southampton. It's only Southampton. Do look at their recent results. I'm not saying anything here to really give Spurs too much credit here, but they did get a draw against Crystal Palace. They did have a close game against Wolves, and then which was technically a relegation battle for them. And then, if I recall, it was that recent Liverpool game where they actually were giving Liverpool a pretty good game up until the end there. So this isn't a team that's necessarily been playing as badly as they were under Russell Martin. Under Russell Martin, they were just getting absolutely cooked on and absolutely dunked on, felt like every single game. Whereas I think since this new manager for them has come in, they've been slightly better for Southampton standards. They've been slightly better. So I'm not going to try to give us too much credit, but just a bit of context. Technically, of their last 3 or 4 games, we've been playing better against them than other teams have. So there is maybe that to go by. There is maybe that to go with. And also we know, change for Tottenham, protests, demonstrations, and whatnot are happening right now. There are plenty of bigger things that are going on in and around the football club, outside the football club. And it's just good to have, the protests and the demonstrations, from what I could tell, go very well. And then also have a Spurs win on top of it. So, everything we could hope for, everything that you could want in a weekend, really.
No, 100%. And look, I think in terms of the protest, Jack, I think it's absolutely great to see Spurs fans getting down and getting their voices heard. And I think, there should be more of it, rather than turning in on each other, going, you're the problem, no, fucking you are, and everything else. Get down behind that banner, change for Tottenham, and make your voices heard. Because at the end of the day, I understand, like I said, a lot of people have problems with Ange Postecoglou, and everyone wants him gone. And, even I do at this point, and even Jack, what Jack has done for longer than what I have. He sort of has held it back for a while now. But, at the end of the day, I think we'll all agree there is a manager change coming. But, I think that has divided people away from the real issue, and what Conte sort of said. And I do hope at some point everyone can use these last games of the season to get down and get their voices heard for change for Spurs. Because at the end of the day, we need a massive summer transfer window in terms of the right recruitment, what they're going to do in terms of the director of football, or they keep with Lang. Can they get Paratici back, or do they have to go a different route? Same with the manager, and same with improving this squad. So I'm glad to see people starting to finally put their frustrations in the right place and in behind the protest, rather than that, people like me and you and other people around.
100%. Thank you guys for the support, by the way, at halftime. Really do appreciate it. But then also thank you for picking us as your watch along destination. And also, by the looks of things, I'm not sure if this was the quickest halftime ever. It felt like one of the quickest halftimes ever. Maybe the people behind the cameras or the people that are running this game are like Dave, where they got a chicken korma or chicken curry to get to very quickly. They're looking to enjoy their weekend, because that felt like a very quick halftime there. So we have kicked off here, everybody. Feel free to sync up with us. And once again, thank you for joining us, this Sunday. Really do appreciate it.
Do you know what? It's actually nice. I hope this game gets done nice and quick today, because, we got good weather here today. So it'd be nice just even though I can't really go anywhere because of my foot, but it'd be nice just to sort of vibe out in the good weather anyway.
You don't think anybody can put you in a nice little stroller, Dave, or something? Stroll you around.
No. I'm not going to get into the realms of that. I'll just suck it up. I'll just basically I don't even have crutches. I'm just hobbling around on one leg at the moment. But I'll just suck it up, lad. I'm one of them. I believe I can heal it. I don't even want to go to hospital. I believe I can heal it myself. Just stretch it. I'm one of them. The more pain and the more pressure I put on it, the more I can suck up the pain. I just feel like it's going to heal itself.
Just make sure when you talk to that doctor, tomorrow, that they never worked at any point in their lives, in the Spurs medical team. Just ask that question. It's like, okay, where did you go to school again? And it's like, okay, what was your former employment? Did you at one point, work for Tottenham Hotspur medical team? Just make sure. Got to check all ends.
Yeah. If they work for the medical team, I'll be going elsewhere. Like, you're not the right one for me. I'll have to ring Romero's. I'll get the Argentinian
really
physio group at me.
That would be a positive sign.
Southampton playing a bit of ball here down Tottenham's right-hand side. Can they get the cross in? Put it back. Referee getting in the way there. It's a good ball. Oh, well done, Romero. Oh! Who's that? Solanke? You dirty dog.
Went for the Davy flick.
Oh, that was lovely. That would have been class if it come off.
Here's Tyler Dibbling, the 100 million pound footballer.
This thing with Solanke, he does some great things, and then he does some absolute donkey things.
He's been so 50-50, it feels like, every time he touches
even Chelsea the other night. Sometimes he's getting on the ball, skinning people. You're like, fuck me, he looks like an animal. And then other times the ball comes into him and it's bouncing 20 yards off.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're like, oh, geez, like you said, this guy isn't holding up. It's just 50-50 hold-up play.
It's just, if he could just sort of gel it all together, he'd be a really good player. Because, look, he's got the size. He's got the physicality. He's got a bit of the pace as well, which you need in the Premier League. It's just about bringing it together and being that dependable guy up front that we can play off a lot more often.
You could really write an essay on the guy, because then also, like, the whole service thing comes into question as well, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, how much service does he really get? But then when he has gotten service in some games, hasn't made the most of it, it's just, you're kind of constantly just going back and forth with the guy. It's like, give him this excuse, but then also you can't give him too many excuses. It's a real essay of a player.
Tottenham Logic TV says Solanke's still trying to get match fit, to be fair. No, look, I understand that to a certain degree, but, and look, it doesn't help that he came into this season with an injury. Look, maybe that's a fair point. Maybe I have overlooked that to a large degree this season, but I'll be honest, Tottenham Logic TV, I just never thought he was the answer in the first place, Slowly, maybe changing my opinion. He has changed my opinion on him. I do think he's better than maybe what I initially thought, but I still don't think he's the right guy for Tottenham. But look, I'm open to be proven wrong. Like if he proves me wrong, I'll sit here. I'll be his biggest fan. I'm shameless like that.
Joe Rebo looked like he was about to kiss Vigario.
Go long.
He's a bigger Vic fan than me. See, there you go. There's Solanke right there, Dave.
Something like that. Like, just get yourself in the right position. Do you know what I mean? It just fucks me off.
That's like a perfect example of what we were talking about. And now they're at our goals. Here he is again, the big man.
There we go. Move it.
Plays it backwards.
Like, it's just something like that. Like, Harry Kane.
Or no, that was Romero, actually. That was Romero.
Like, we took that from granted from Harry Kane in years gone by. He just plucks it down out of the air. Sonny, just underwhelming pass. Under hit. Unlucky. Good endeavour. Let's go. Get after it now.
Dibbling, the 100 million pound man.
Again, it's taken us a few minutes to get going in this half, just like it did against Chelsea. Manning with a ball in behind. Great tackle. Well done, Bentancur. He made one out the far side a minute ago, and now he's out this side making it. I don't think Tottenham are going to force the issue. I think they're just going to try and wait to get the ball back here. Conserve a bit of energy for Thursday night.
Just grab a third, put on the kids. No Mikey Moore on the bench, though, if I recall, right?
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on. This is just where Ange doesn't help himself. Today, if you're looking long-term for the football club, it's an ideal opportunity to get him off the bench, get him some more Premier League experience under his belt. Do you know what I mean? It's just stupid.
I think I even put Mikey Moore in the pre-match build-up, thumbnail in hopes that he would.
Yeah.
Maybe I jinxed it, Dave.
No, look, we can do all the manifesting we want. I don't know whatever. I don't know what's going on there, but I think
I now that I think I don't want to be a sour mood here, everybody, but if I were Mikey, I would be pissed off. This is a perfect game for him.
like you also got to
Especially
remember.
2-0 up. 2-0 up. You would absolutely be subbing him on here. Take off Sonny.
By the way, actually, I do want to give Callum Olasesi a lot of credit. He's recently signed a new
Yeah,
3-year contract with PSG and other clubs. Really hell bent trying to get him on the dotted line. So fair play for getting that one over the line. That's a good one.
Seems like he's a real Spurs fan, Dave, then by signing up with us still.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Mikey Moore him and Olasesi are best friends, by the way. Really good friends.
So Callum must really, as much as he's not been given those chances, he must be a true Spurs fan that he wants to stick around. Yeah, Dave, 2-0 up. This is when you take off Sonny, bring on Mikey Moore.
I think he will in around 60. Well, Mikey Moore can't come on, but, this is the sort of game he should. But I think looking at this, it's clear that we're not going to go after the press. It's clear that, we wanted to do it in the first half, and the second half is just exactly like this. Here we go, Sonny in behind. Good touch. Second touch, not so good. Takes too long to get the shot off. Not good enough. Not good enough.
Behind you, lad. Also, continue on. Don't complain.
But this is exactly the way this half is going to pan out. We're not going to force the issue. We're going to look to conserve a bit of energy, and we're just going to wait to get the ball back and hit them on the counter now.
What a ball from Madison. I didn't even think he saw that run from Sonny.
It's just poor from Son. First touch, not the greatest, got away. Second touch, poor. And then too slow to pull the trigger. He's lost the yard of pace.
And, well, I agree with the yard of pace thing, but you and I said that on that fan show on Big Up. You and I were like, the guy's just taking way too long to make a decision sometimes.
Yeah.
He waited until the Southampton player came to him, and then he knew that guy was going to put in the block, and yet he still shot it.
Yeah.
Just cut it back inside after that.
See, the thing is, he's so desperate,
He's
like,
just
don't get me
drained of
wrong.
confidence.
I know he's our club's most goal contributions this season, but across all competitions in terms of goals and assists, but
poor.
He's just way off his usual levels, and he knows that. I think that plays on his mind a little. Whoa, brilliant
Romero, class.
Oh, that's just beautiful.
There you go, Solanke.
He's gone the wrong side.
Oh, yes, Solanke. Go on,
hold it up.
Find Romero. Oh,
he's
Romero,
on.
Go on.
You there, Rhino? Romero, hold it up. Oh, ref! Come on, ref! No way! How have we not fashioned a shot on target off that breakaway though? That's 2 breakaways. We should have got a shot on target off.
Well, Romero slipped is really, the reason.
Yeah. Solanke initially done well. I thought he turned the wrong way there. I thought you should have turned to where Romero was running.
He did well, despite that, to break away there.
Lauren Deb, I agree with you. I don't know what all this hype is about Tyler Diblin. I think he's a decent player, but I don't think he's any better than what we've got in our academy or coming through.
Well, Dave and I said that in the Spurs reaction to the 100, what was it, the 50 next gen players, from goal.com. And, the point I asked Dave was like, is Tyler Dibbling really that much better than Mikey Moore? Like, is he really that much better, or is Tyler Dibbling just the beneficiary of just playing in a team like Southampton? If Mikey Moore played for Southampton, would we? I don't know. It's just that's my point. Is Mikey Moore probably would be playing all the time for a team like Southampton.
No, even the likes of Matisse Tell, is he any better than what we've got? I don't think so.
I think some players were getting warmed up.
Good.
Again, Sonny should be taken off. There's no reason to keep.
Yeah. Oh, well on Romero or Davies even. Bergvall picks it up into Sonny.
Good
back
ball.
to Bergvall. Good play. Tom Solanke just takes too long to get on his horse.
He needs to already be in behind. He's waited too long to make the run.
He's waited till the ball's got to Bergvall's feet to make the run. He should already be making as soon as it's on his way.
Exactly. He should already be in behind.
It's too reactionary there from Solanke. And the thing is, if he's just a bit more proactive about it, he's in. Here we go, Sar. He's got a goal in him. Come on, Pappy.
The Wilson. Sonny is being taken off, thank God.
Free Willy.
And then Bentancur being taken off.
Yeah, he's had a good game now. He didn't take him off. He's done well mopping up things. Hasn't vacated that position. Showed discipline. That's what we need. Haven't been ripped apart because he's vacated. Take him off. Make sure he's ready for Thursday.
Exactly. Need to get the Bentancur beard, though. He's got a great beard.
Yeah, it's nice. Well done, Benny. Come on, Pappy. You bring me so much joy, Pappy. And then Wilson as well. This should liven it up a little bit here. Let's go, Willie.
Here's the star man, Wilson.
Tyler says, I love how Bergwall tackles with his body as well. Yeah, exactly. Using his upper body in that, you're absolutely spot on. Stuart says, anyone would have a good beard when you get paid that a week. Fair.
Well, you say that, but no matter how much money you have, you can't necessarily grow a beard. Only so many people can.
Well, you can go to
It's
Turkey.
just genetics
sure
at the end of the day. It's just genetics. Well, I think Turkey is more for the scalp, Dave. I'm not sure if they do it for beard, transplant.
Yeah.
Is there such thing as beard transplants? This is something probably more for Big Up, for us to chat about. But I wonder if there are beard transplants.
Presume if you could do it for your hair, you could probably do it for the beard as well. By the way, have we seen Shem Tam today?
No, Shem. I think he's getting his kebab orders in, Dave. That's what's going on. There it is.
Lauren Dev says, Dave, it's good to see you smiling. No, I appreciate it. It's been a long time, my man. I'm smiling and grimacing at the same time. I'm in fucking agony with my foot.
Tony, he looks like an evil math professor or something. This
Yeah,
guy
he
in
does.
Southampton.
Yeah. It looks like he should be in Breaking Bad or something.
Yeah, exactly. It just looks like he would be in exactly Breaking Bad. What a good reference.
Oh, I need to take a step. I need to stretch out. Just give me 1 second, Jack.
Aussie. Coys, saying it's an odd feeling watching Spurs and enjoying it. That's doesn't happen too often this year. Good play by Wilson. Sonny, or Solanke. Sorry, I meant Madison probably needed to play Solanke there, but he played Johnson. Foul given away. Yeah, I think Madison just needed to find Solanke there, and then Solanke would have found Johnson, not the other way around. And also Johnson on a hat trick, everybody. Let us remind ourselves. Will he get it? How many times have they pulled us down? No card. Fair point. I guess I haven't really thought about that because we're 2-0 up, but then it's also only Southampton. So I'm saving my SPURS for Thursday night.
Remo says, that their manager looks like a evil Klopp.
Daniel Larson saying Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Sounds like an evil name.
Yeah, sounds like they're calling them dumb or something.
Is that a Norwegian evil doctor or something, Daniel?
Dr. Dunce.
But yeah, Tyler, I'm reserving my SPURS for Thursday night.
Spence, that's a free out. Free out. Half an hour to go. See if we can gloss this scoreline up a little bit.
That hairline for Kyle Walker-Peters is just going further and further and further back. Like Southampton's back line.
Start at the back of his head next season. Is he not sweating in that jacket, man? Fuck me.
It is. I'm telling you, Dave, it's 16 degrees outside.
He's roasting out, lad.
And he's wearing a sweater underneath it.
Yeah, it's mad.
And a black sweater as well.
Oh, well done, Solanke ref. Come on, that's another yellow. At least pull out a yellow now, please. Fuck me, I'm sick of it. Every time we get going, they're pulling us down. You're allowing it. I'm sorry, but this is where the club needs to come out and start putting pressures on these officials. They just need to come out with a simple tactic, a simple thing. What? How many fouls have they committed today? Let me have a look.
Oh, he's giving him a dead leg as well off of the Davy flick.
How many fouls have these fuckers given away? Here's the stats.
Jack doesn't know who Dr. Doofenshmirtz is. Shake my head. Oh, I'm sorry, Tyler. From Phineas and Ferb. Oh, my lord. God, I haven't thought about that show in forever. There's some sort of meme, though, that I saw recently in reference to that, but...
Oh, it's just coming a little bit disjointed now, this game.
Phineas and Ferb, I was old. I'm young enough to remember it, but I was probably in the older days by that stage. I was a bit more of a
Phineas and
SpongeBob
Ferb.
kid.
Haven't heard of that in years.
I was more of a SpongeBob kid, really. And then I was lucky enough to be allowed to watch, The Simpsons and things like that by probably that age.
They predict a lot of things in the future, don't they, The Simpsons?
Yeah. Eddie saying you grew up in Melbourne, but saying it sounds like you're saying Melbourne's one of the colder ones. So, Eddie, so yeah. She's, I guess, Ange is cold-blooded. Or warm-blooded, really, would be, I guess, it's the opposite. Again, what does Tyler Dibbling do in a football match other than just brush his hair to the side?
Jano says if Southampton score, it would be embarrassing. Yeah, I agree with that.
Willie Smallbone, Dave, coming on? Irish International?
Useless. Don't need to worry about him. He's fucking useless. That guy doesn't know how to make a challenge, so hopefully they stop pulling us down now. Manager's helping us. Honestly, he doesn't.
That's hilarious. What
he
a
doesn't.
reference.
The guy hasn't a clue how to make a challenge. Anytime he plays for Ireland, they just waltz by him.
Bit of a Harry Winks in the challenge.
Yeah, he's a bit of a wimp. Go on, Dom. Go on, Dom. Don't you dare blow it.
Flick it. Flick it. Flick it. Ah!
Oh, so clumsy. He just can't get the ball out of his feet.
Play Sonny there, man. Play Sonny.
He just can't get the ball out of his feet. The guy's never going to score.
Needs to play Sonny there.
He's never going to score. He's just never, ever going to score.
He definitely wanted to there because I think he needed to play Sonny.
It's just getting the ball under control. It's so erratic. One touch there, and I
think I need to replay.
He barrels the defender out the way. The defender's gone. He still can't get the fucking thing under control. Look, what's that about? Look, 10 touches to get it out from underneath his feet. He's taking it down like a clown. Should be one touch back in the net. Come on, Dom. I'm rooting for you. Don't make me turn against you, Dom. Like there, what is he doing there? Like, that's shocking.
Yeah, first touch is bad.
Shocking. He should be on the half turn.
I mean, he did handle it outside the area. He is right.
That should be a red card.
He did.
Stopping the goal score. Denial of the goal score.
Any other game, they'd be looking back at that.
Oh, come on, ref. You're not that important. Let the game go on. Good ball. Ooh, Romero lining up at the back post again.
Wilson.
Come on, Willie.
Come
on, Willie. Unlucky. Wilson. Lucas. On to Romulus. Come on, find me another 50-yarder ball. Spence. Pops it around the corner to Wilson. Back to Spence. Ref, he's fucking holding him, look. It's not WWE, donut. Vicario. Romulus. Just drawing them out and we're going to hit them in behind. Madison, onto Romulus. Nothing daft here now, Tottenham. Good
Ben
ball by
Davis.
Davies. Wilson, good play. Spence. Ref, he's grappling him again, ref. He's holding on to him again, ref. He's stopping him from getting to the ball, for fuck's sake.
Also just didn't seem like maybe he played it on the right side of him, you know what I mean? Played it to the left side instead of his right side.
Oh,
Small bone.
He is useless.
Great name to say, but
Jesus, that's
the 100 million pound man, Tyler Dibbling.
Is he wearing pink boots?
Absolutely destroyed whoever that was off the ball.
Why not? Yeah, Stevie, I don't understand how Ramsdale didn't get booked for that. That's blatant cheating. You're absolutely spot on. HS Dom is a little too desperate for that goal. I think so. I think so. Larendale said this is getting boring now. Yeah, it is getting boring.
I agree with Dave, though. Like, he really were, well, he doesn't get the service, but if he really were a player in good form right now, you know, you do put that away. That's
do you know what?
thing. Like, you see so many other players that are playing well, you know, put that away, and he doesn't. You know, it's a tame shot. It's a pretty tame shot.
It's just the first touch. It's just so erratic. It takes the chance away, you know, to a large degree. But on the service thing, like I agree with the service from out wide. But like, you know, there, and we were doing something earlier on the season as well over on Big Up, breaking down clips from the game. And like, you know, he is very late to get on the move.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder, does that not help him in that regard? Because even earlier on in this game, if he's on the move, Bergvall plays it in behind.
Yeah, earlier we said that. Yeah. With that Bergvall run, you're right. No, I think you're right. But then again, like, there have been times where I do see him make a run and he gets ignored.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I'm telling you, it's like an essay, Dave. It's like an essay of, like, you say one thing and then you would, and the next paragraph you go like, but then again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know which one it is.
I really want him to score. I
want to see Mikey Moore on. That's the thing. I want to see the young kids come on. This seems like a great chance for them. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not trying to give Ange any excuses. I'm just trying to think maybe what's going through his head. But maybe the reason is just to try to give the guys that will play Thursday night that bit of confidence. Right.
Yeah. I think that's the idea behind it.
But I do think he has risked this season. I think he's very much risked. You know, a Mikey Moore. Feeling like, you know, a club like a Dortmund or something would do better for him.
Yeah. Well, he had all them options on the table.
Exactly.
He chose to sign for Tottenham. And this is how we reward him. Back to Vicario.
Red for some, but not for others, says George.
Come on, let's go and fashion a chance now. This is becoming boring. I don't want to watch another 20 minutes like this. Fuck me. Come on. Porro. Bergvall. Good switch of play out to Spence. Great control. He's better control than Solanke. Go on, Spence. Drive. Well done, Sarr. Porro. Out to Johnson. Get it in. Good ball. Oh, it's overran it.
Get your head in there, Dom.
I think he overran it there. Oh, well done, Bergvall. Brilliant. Well done.
Lovely from Porro.
Well done. Come on, Wilson.
Still Wilson. Too many ball rolls.
I think Madison was screaming for it there. He's not happy. Southampton on the break. Rooty Toot says we're 13th in the Premier League table right now. Have we gone up? Have we gone up a place? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're telling me? Silver linings, I suppose, Rooty Toot. Oh, no. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Who's that? Spence. Sar. Oh, 20 minutes to go. Come on, Tottenham. Fashion a few late chances here. Make it some entertaining for us. Good ball into Bergval. Onto Sar. Handball. Fuck off, ref. Dick. Kelly Davies says, got to get a clean sheet today. Yeah, that would be nice, actually. That would be a good positive. King Hoddle, Frankfurt lost 2-0 yesterday, just saying. That's nice. Lost Werder Bremen. Didn't
Well,
it?
they can probably afford to lose games from what I
Or was
can
it
tell.
Wolfsburg? One of the two.
Southampton have brought on the big man.
Who's that?
It's just some gigantic number 9. He's quite useless, but
Go on, Spence, you're mad, man. Ref. Ref. Can we get a yellow, please? Please, ref. Just a yellow card. Even I've got them here. Come on. Every time we get going, pulled it down. It's a joke.
got to get clean sheets today, says Kaylee Davis. Actually, you're probably right, Kaylee. We didn't mention that. Good for
Be
the
nice to keep
confidence
a
of
clean sheet.
the forward line needs the goals, for their own confidence. But even the defense, right? The defense also probably could use a clean sheet. Fair point to make. Every part of the team needs confidence.
Ref, again, they're leaving stuff on us every time, ref. Fucking hell. That's like 5 in front of your eyes now.
And no cards.
No, he's a joke. Must have left him in the bottle last night, fucking idiot. Edward says, what was the point of signing Tell at this? He doesn't get. Look, I'll argue Tell hasn't helped himself for what he's produced in the minutes he has had either, though. Ref, it's becoming a rugby match, for God's sake. There's more stoppages in this than there is American football. Honestly, there's another one. Oh, my Lord. Go on, Dom. Go on, Wilson. Good pressing. Come on, a bit of possession now. Let's go and create and score another goal. Vicario into Porro. Out to Romero. Good ball between the lines from Romero. That's more like it. Who lost that one?
Nick Johnson.
Not good enough.
Everyone's gone quiet in the second half, Dave.
Yeah.
The whole forward line.
Yeah. We're never going to come out and press and, look, you know what I mean? We're always going to sit off in the second half with Thursday night in mind. Job's done. You would argue it 2 goals in the first half, but that's where then in possession, you just want to be clever. When you do get it back, go and kill them off, Hold that. Well done. Good defending there, Johnson. He is never ready. He can't. His hold-up play is killing us this half.
Yeah.
This is when you do need him to become a good hold-up player, when we are under the cosh like this a little
Yeah,
bit, or
good
we are
point.
out of possession, just to get us up the field.
Good point. Stuart Davidson, let's go watch golf.
Honestly, it'd probably be more entertaining right now, lad. Just knocking around. We're not really, getting any. I suppose anytime we do get forward, they're just pulling us down though as well, aren't they?
And we're not even complaining. I think we're just sort of saying, how it is. It's just not been a whole lot to commentate on. Oh, bad turnover by Spurs.
Oh no.
Good save from Vic.
Carrier.
Oh my lord. Oh jeez. No reason though for us to be giving up a
No.
chance like that.
Come on, let's break here now.
And
Again.
just Solanke.
Holy shit, he is atrocious.
Well, he's
I'm
given a
gonna lose
foul
it with him.
actually. It looks like he got fouled.
But he's always so slow to it, man. Like, that's just, we're on the break. Get in front of your man. Simple layoff. We're in. He fucking makes everything look so hard. It's pissing me off. I just want him to score. Go on, Paro. Oh, my God.
Up, Dave. Check
go.
your window.
Archie Gray. Get that one. That'll go by at about 4 o'clock today, Jack. Here we go. Basuma coming on. And who's the other one? Archie Gray.
Yeah, just big shove in the back.
Who's coming off? Well,
I would take off Solanke personally. I'd say keep him rested for Thursday night.
I would, but I think he's trying to keep him out there to try and get him a goal to get his confidence going as well to a large degree. Archie Gray's coming on. Who came off? Bergval, and who was the other one? Madison.
Well,
keep him ready for
and just got his heart on.
Yeah, he has to take him off, doesn't he? He always has to take him off.
Now Ange gets the biggest stiffy every time he takes Madison off.
See what Basuma does today. Even he can't fuck up this, surely. Oh, unlucky. Brilliant. Who's that? Archie. 10 minutes to go, everyone, and then we're all free.
If anything, Yves Bissouma should be playing well just so that he can take a look at Southampton buying him next season.
Oh, we've probably already offered them Basuma to try and get money off Dibbling. You can guarantee that. It just feels like an end of season game, this. The 38th game of the season, last game, doesn't it? The way it's petering out.
Well, I hope the Crystal Palace game goes like this for us.
Yeah.
Be enjoyable, actually. Like I said, it's just nothing to really commentate on this game in the second half.
Well on Spence.
Just not a whole lot that's happened. Jeez, Basuma.
Atrocious. Get up. You're never getting a penalty for that, you dumbass. What's he rolling around for? Pussy. Get up. He wasn't even looking at the player. If they give this is disgusting.
He didn't even know what body part to clutch.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, do I grab my face or do I grab my ankle? Who will we play down next? I don't even. They're probably just chanting teams of the championship that they look forward to playing.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, if I was there at the stadium, I'd be that. I'd be like, enjoy Stevenage, enjoy Stevenage, enjoy Stevenage on a Tuesday night. Just take the piss, get a little joy where you can.
Well, Spurs have shown that they can get it done at home against Southampton on a warm Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon.
Uh,
And again, though, I would say scarily so. The last 10 minutes have actually been all Southampton.
yeah, but how much of that is just us conserving energy for Thursday, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just saying how it is.
Yeah, no, I agree with. Look, you'd argue most of this half has been Southampton. They're just absolutely toothless going forward. Any plans for the day, though, Jack?
Going back to bed.
You're done here?
Going back to bed, really.
Are you? Yeah. Why not? Drew says he is being subbed. Oh, someone's being subbed. Q7 says, Jack, nearly spat my water out with you implying that Ange subbing matters is a fetish at this point.
I actually made that reference a long time ago.
You'd want to be one sick individual if that's what gets you off, though.
I'm almost being, as much as I wish I was, being comedic, I really do think he does.
Stick the
amount of times that he has done it. The amount of times that he has done it. I mean, it's his favorite thing to do.
Stick some edible panties on him, like someone suggested earlier.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Slanky,
you cannot miss this, Slanky.
Post.
Oh,
Dude,
my God.
My Lord, you selfish. Oh, my God. Selfish. You have
Honestly,
Johnson for the hat trick, man. You have Johnson for the hat trick.
I'm starting to consider if he's any better than Vinicius we had a few years ago. Fucking hell.
Jesus, lad.
Johnson's just run out of the way and cleared the opening for him to go and get
I thought there was someone on the right side. I guess I made that up.
No, Johnson's just ran across him and ran out of the way to clear the path for him to go for goal.
Fucking hell.
Actually very unselfish from Johnson there, to be fair.
Oh, here he is again. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God.
Well, get all your mistakes out now before Frankfurt.
How many times has he given away the ball today? Honestly.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, there's only so much hope before he has to start helping himself. That's much better. There we go. That's much better.
He decks Smallbone. There you go, Dave.
Protect him. As bad as he is, we do need him for the Ireland squad. We don't have much to pick from right now. Although we are winning right now, which is good. Our last two games we won. Johnson. Slowing it down. Moves it into Porro. All the way back to Romulus. Come on, let's get another corner. I feel like we need to get Rom up there again. Good ball in the middle. Can he hold it up? Well done, Spence. Good touch. Oh, well done. That's brilliant. That's fucking brilliant. He could almost play up front at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, we should give Archie Gray a chance, Dave, to play every position in the team.
Here we go.
Let Archie Gray play up front. Basuma.
Just give it in. Too long. Too negative.
I think Solanke needs to make a run in behind there. Johnson.
Porro, you just played that blindly. That's shocking for Porro. He's just played that blindly. He hasn't even bothered to check if that's on. He hasn't even bothered fucking looking. That is shocking. That's atrocious. Here we go, Matisse Tell.
Slanky off, Tell on.
Future's bright, Future's Lily White says awful. Solanke, he needs a proper coach because there is a player in there. That's the thing, you know. You look at him, you look at the size, the build, the physique. You know, he's all round.
Just
His
doesn't look like the
attitude,
player he was last
is
year.
good. His attitude is very good as well. But and half the times you look at him and some of the stuff he goes, you go, you know, there's a real player in there. But then at other times, I mean,
Yeah.
he looks worse than Vinicius. You
Doesn't
know,
help
that we had a
himself.
couple of years ago. Yeah, he doesn't help himself, and
He's
like,
just a
that's where
conundrum right now. He's just a conundrum of a
I'm
player.
still I'm still torn. You know, am I still with my opinion at the start of the season that he was never going to be good enough to come in here and be what we needed to do, or you know, are we just not doing enough around him? But I'd argue, 6 or 7 times there in this second half alone, he's had the opportunities with good balls at
Yeah,
his feet, and
could have had a brace today.
yeah, he's not getting any real good shots on target because of his own self. You know,
I mean, he just doesn't look anything like the 20-goal Premier League striker that he was last year.
no.
Oh,
Oh,
good save again
Sicario,
from
good
Vicario.
save.
Good save.
Fuck me, if we concede, this will be embarrassing. Good save that. He caught that well.
Oh, that's the former AZ player, Sugawara.
What's the point with 4 minutes to go to bring on Tal? I think it's more just to protect Dominic Solanke from himself, to be honest.
Yeah. Rest him for Thursday. Poro.
Good
Lovely play.
None of them want to pass to Bissouma. He's given 3 options there. They've all turned away from him. Oh, that's brilliant from Archie Gray. It's fucking brilliant turn. Poro. Goes long. Two minutes. They better not fuck like 10 minutes added on into this. Like, just read the room, the game's coming to a close. 2 minutes, done and dusted. Southampton coming down Tottenham's right. Looks to cut inside. He's going to unleash one. It's a good ball. No.
Oh, no.
Fucking hell, we are useless.
Oh, no.
Tottenham Hotspur, you never failed to.
2-1 predictions could be well and truly spot on.
Let's
hope they fucking are. Let's hope those 2-1 predictions are spot on.
You could get 2-2 if they fucking,
It's been all Southampton the second half. Like I said, I know Dave and I haven't really been that enthused by the second half, but I'll be honest, it really has. Spurs have done very, very little in the second. Dom Solanke was probably the one who did have the chances in the second half to maybe make it 3-1 or 3-0.
We've had a couple of great breakaways to put this to bed.
Breakaways, yeah, but not really. But
great. They've been good breakaways, but everyone keeps losing the ball. You know what I mean? It making stupid decisions, and it's like, again, we're the catalyst of our own downfall. We shoot ourselves in the foot so many times. I wouldn't be surprised to see this go 2-2. I really wouldn't. They've done this a few years ago, and Conte left criticising the club and the players.
Yeah.
You just can never do anything easy. Ever. Can we? Again, I think there was a good chance to go and gloss up the scoreline. Didn't do it. You even look at the fans.
Yeah, it leaves a sour taste.
Southampton are having a better day than what our fans are.
Yeah, it's leaving a sour taste, really. Just with how the second half has gone. And again, you can tell they're mailing it in, the players for the second half. They're trying to conserve themselves, but it is a little concerning to not really be able to put in a full performance against them. But I'm not even trying to sound like I'm complaining too much. Let's just hope we get the win here.
The local guy at the Indian Takeaway is starting to sweat now.
Yeah, he's worried about that order. He was thinking Dave was going to get 2 chicken kormas. Now he's not even thinking he's going to get any.
Well, I was going to get him ready for a rice, a chips, a korma, and some naan bread. But I might have to scale that back altogether. 4 minutes. Where are they even getting 4 minutes from, man? Is that from all the free kicks that they've given and haven't got yellow cards? So now we're going to reward them for them. Joke.
That's hilarious.
Honestly, that's what it feels like, though, no?
No, that's a fair
Rewarding
point.
them for pulling us down.
Artist T saying game on. Ed Martin, good to see you, Ed. Leighton Evelyn, how we doing, sir?
Big up, Leighton. He must be buzzing today, Leighton. Good to see you.
That's happy clapper around.
He's just been waiting for a win. Honestly, if we fuck this up, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to fucking lose my mind. I can't even watch the last 2 minutes. The fact we're even in this position against Southampton.
I mean, they've been stroking it around the park in the second half. We are just camped in. Basuma's just not even stepping out.
Well done, Spence. Thank fuck someone's still alert.
Basuma's not even stepping out there.
Everyone just feels it's coming, don't they? Fuck this club, man.
Oh, it's only a minute.
It's still more than enough time. And I wouldn't bet them to make this go longer now.
I mean, I knew it too before the goal went in. The moment that it fell to Fernandez, it was like, yep, that's in.
There's no need to rush to take the throw in either. Just take your time now. Kill the clock.
Sad we're even saying that.
I know, yeah, it's atrocious. It's disgusting. I feel like I need to go and have a shower now.
Oh my gosh, great. That's a bad pass, man.
That's a great
thank
tackle,
Lord.
though.
Wilson.
Go on, Wilson. Johnson for his hat trick. He does. Johnson! Oh, he's won the ball. He's won the ball. Oh, he's giving it!
A pen.
Penalty!
Oh my Lord.
Come on! Is there a hat trick here for Johnson? Surely they're going to let him take it, right?
He must have done well to protect it.
He must have protected it then. He must have done very well. It looked like he got the ball there with the challenge. Maybe he's took the man before the ball.
Oh, no way Matisse Tell won. Yeah, he did. Well done.
Yeah.
Johnson. He protected it. He shielded
It's
the
a
ball.
good
Took a
touch.
little touch to the outside here. Yeah.
Oh, yes. That's
He
brilliant.
sort of also he sort of put his foot.
Give me his
above
hat
the
trick.
challenge.
Give me his hat trick. That's smart play from
Went
Johnson.
for the Davy dive there, Dave. He went for the Davy dive. He sort of.
That's clever. He didn't even dive. He just flicked the ball away, waited for the contact, and then he went down. That's beautiful.
The fact that Matisse Tell wants
Poetry
to
in motion.
take. Oh my Lord, Matisse Tell. No way, man.
No way.
No way.
If I'm
Matisse
Johnson,
Tell.
I'm going ballistic.
Oh,
I am
dude,
going
Matisse
ballistic.
Tell,
He's
I
not
don't
been
want
another hat
this guy.
trick.
I don't.
Not
want
only has he
this guy.
scored 2, he's also won the penalty.
Matisse Tell, dude. What the fuck?
Johnson, I feel so bad for him, man. He's fuming. Look at him. He's angry. It's not every day a Premier League hat trick comes around. Matisse Tell better score this.
That's fucked. A goal against Southampton. Get over yourself. Let Johnson have the hat trick.
I bet Solanke's wishing he's on the pitch now.
Seriously.
Oh, he finishes
not
it.
even a great penalty.
Not a great penalty, but it's in. 3-1. We'll take that.
I don't know. I don't rate that by Tell. I really don't. I do not rate that. I don't want this guy. I don't want this guy.
3-1. We'll take it. Good
Only
finish.
no one even goes to really celebrate with him. No one even really goes. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't rate that. I find that to be very selfish from Tell.
Can you tell what time it is? Come on, Jack. Just smile. Crack one for Tell, lad.
No, it reminds me of Chelsea. It's just like Chelsea of last season with Nicholas Jackson, and it's like us, when everyone was arguing over the free kick. It seems of a very selfish team.
Oh,
It's ridiculous. They're not allowing Johnson the hat trick.
And
And
you
again,
feel
this
the same
coming from
fears
we're not
tonight?
even Johnson's biggest fans. Not even Johnson's biggest fans, and he deserves it. He's probably been the best player today.
no, I'll take it. I don't care. Look, fuck it. The ball's in the back of the net. I know what you're saying. Johnson probably does deserve to take it and get the hat trick. But, at the end of the day, it's in the back of the net. The game's won now, Jack, regardless of who's put it in.
True.
Come on, we finally won a game of football.
Got the win. Needed a win.
Jesus Christ, how long has it been? Oh my Lord, thank God.
Jeez, how long has it been
Oh,
since a
fucking hell.
win in the Premier League? You're right, Dave. Far too
I
long.
can't even enjoy it too much because even that was stressful. But fuck me, finally 3 points on the board.
Jeez, I actually need to look that up. How long has it been since?
Well, we didn't win. We didn't win one Premier League game in March.
We didn't. Yeah, there was Ipswich away from home, and it was in February. So that would have been a whole 2 months ago. Wow. Oh, jeez. It feels good, everybody. Reminding ourselves what a win in the Premier League feels like. Jeez. Feels good. Feeling good. Feeling good. Looks like we might have lost Dave there for a sec. I think he sort of left the stream. I'm not even pissed. I'm actually just more pissed off at Batista, really. I just thought it was kind of silly, to be honest. Just don't really see the point in, trying to take that. Feels good to have a win, though. And it feels good to just enjoy, a weekend before we descend into the madness on Thursday night, everybody. Deserves has nothing to do with it. Maybe so. I don't know. I'm looking at it just sort of for Johnson's sake, really. I can see why people could be mad at me, for it, but I don't know. It's just I felt for Johnson there. I just sort of felt for Johnson. I just felt like he deserved it there, personally. But I mean, Dave, a win's a win, and we desperately needed a win of some kind to give ourselves that hope for Thursday. I need to add you back into the stream now. People can't hear you yet. People can't hear you yet. I need to add you back in here. I listen, everybody. Like, I'm just making my comments about Johnson, just because I try to be fair, like we always do, and I just think Johnson deserved it at the end of the day. So it's not even really like I'm that fussed about it. It's just I just don't rate that personally from Tell. Like if I were in his shoes, I just would not have taken that off of somebody. That's just the way I see it. I think it's a little crazy, but I mean we're past it now. We're absolutely past it at this point. And a win's a win, and we'll absolutely take a win. And that's what I said in the very beginning of this show. Look back at the beginning of the intro. We were just looking for a win of any kind. Did not need to be pretty. Did not need to be, a significant one. I wasn't expecting it to be a 5-0 or anything. A 3-1, you absolutely take it. And we were brilliant in the first half. Second half, I wouldn't really say that was the case, but a win's a win, and you absolutely take it against Southampton. And Southampton were, in a way, stepping up their game in that second, to make life a bit more difficult for us. So, absolutely take it. Absolutely take it.
Look, at the end of the day, we were a team came into this lack of confidence. We haven't won since we beat Ipswich down at their place, which was back in February, I think, maybe March. It's been February. It's been quite some time since we won a game in the Premier League. Look, at the end of the day, first half I thought we played well. Another day, if we took more of our chances, we could have had it done and dusted. Second half, look, it's clear we didn't go after them in the press, which was a massive part to our first half game. We were trying to conserve energy, nearly got bit on the ass for doing it. Some would argue maybe not learning our lessons. And look, don't get me wrong, I'm disappointed we didn't gloss up the scoreline. Yeah, 100%. I thought these were there for the taking. Route 4, 5, 6-0. Give yourself a lot of confidence going in. I don't think the game has done Dominic Solanke any good whatsoever in terms of his confidence. But look, at the end of the day, a win's a win. We needed that heading into the Frankfurt game. It gives me a little bit of hope that maybe we can do something again. It's hope. But by all means, don't get carried away. It's Southampton. Some would argue it's still not good enough what we've seen today. Let's not get carried away, but a win's a win. And I'm going to go off, enjoy my Indian and enjoy my Sunday. I ain't going to let it ruin my day. At the end of the day, I'm in this business because I want to win. I want to win games of football. So that's the name of the game at the end of the day. Job done. Does it mean anything for Ange Postecoglou? No. Does it mean he should stay here next season? No. Do we still have big problems at the football club? Yes. But we've been moaning about them all season long. I'm just going to take this today and I'm going to enjoy my Indian and just move on.
I think today was just about avoiding any sort of further conversations about does Ange get the sack before Frankfurt? And even though Dave and I felt like that was never going to happen, the Chelsea game, the way that sort of spelled out and everything, we just avoided any sort of more difficult conversations, more drama, that type of thing. Really, we were able to avoid that, with a win today, and that's all that really matters. And there wasn't really a whole lot of pressure on this one, other than just to get a win. Really, it was just
Yeah.
about getting a win, and the boys delivered, absolutely deserving of it. It's not like it was a fluke or anything like that. They did play well in that first half. They deserved everything from it. So you take it. You take it. You absolutely take it. And it's just about building from here to go on to go on for Thursday night. Can the forward line get some confidence from scoring 3 goals? The defense up until the end, played very well. Kept almost any chance, out, and didn't really have too much to deal with Vicario. So they probably could get some confidence there. Also, getting a win at home, is important before we play, our game at home against Frankfurt, right? At least to remind the fans of what a win feels like, to generate that sort of atmosphere for next time, because the fans really need to be up for it Thursday night. I know I will be well prepared for Thursday night. All my happy clapping juices will be flowing for that one. And today was just about getting a win to give yourself that familiar feeling of a win before we go into Thursday night, because you definitely need a win Thursday night before you go away from home, at Frankfurt, because Frankfurt is going to be a very, very difficult place to go to when you travel over to, I think it's like the Deutsche Bank Park. I'm trying to remember, but the Frankfurt fans, they have actually probably one of the more difficult atmospheres, probably one of the more intense fan bases of the German Bundesliga team. So you definitely need to get that feeling of a win before you go to the home fixture here this Thursday night, and generate a good atmosphere and everything. So job done, everything done, happy with it. And thank you guys for joining us, this Sunday afternoon. Apologies to everyone about my Johnson comments. Like, it's just how I feel about it, really. But I'm well past it at this point. I just kind of felt for the guy. He probably gave up the penalty. So, he made his decision to allow Tell to do that. So I guess the guy is feeling in a generous mood, maybe more than even I am this morning.
And just quickly, Jack, look, I just hope it's not spoiled by Postecoglou, trying to hit back in the press conference, and I'll just
if
keep
he
it
dares
mellow.
doing that today, that
No
would be
headlines, just be humble, take the win, move on, because if he comes out clapping back and we get destroyed Thursday night, he's just making the same mistakes. Take the win, be humble, move forward. Let's see what happens Thursday. If we get through the 2 legs over fucking Frankfurt, fine. You clap back then, but just be humble today. It's all I ask. No headlines. And I would argue, if that's the case, good day for the football club. Loads of people at the protest, thousands of people at the protest, making a voice heard. 3 points off the back of it. If Ange can just stay humble in the press conference, not stoke any flames between now and Thursday, that would be nice.
No, definitely. I mean, it's actually a fair point that you bring that up. Ange just needs to make this press conference the most boring press conference out of all of them in history, and then just move on to Thursday night. No reason to grab any headlines. That was the only issue I think people had with Thursday night against Chelsea, was it was turned into a bigger thing than it really needed to be. I think any time, Spurs fans were happy with, not really happy, but Spurs fans we've lost to Chelsea a million times, but it just somehow was made so much worse by the way that it's, sort of spilled out with the chapping back from the manager. But yeah, this time, please, just let's avoid any sort of drama. Let's avoid any sort of controversy with the manager. Completely agree there. People are getting in their Indian orders. Please, everybody, let us know. What are we going for? Butter chickens, maybe Dave's, I know, going for a curry. He's going for a little chips on the side as well. So let us know, everybody, what's the takeaway order, because it's been a while since we've been able to have that feeling, especially after a win. It'd be good to get your takeaway orders in. Jerome saying Johnson deserved his hat trick, but we can't do things easily. Conceded another stupid goal. Jerome, it was tough, man, because Dave and I, we were saying okay, the second half has been a little bit boring, and then we weren't really complaining. We were just saying how it is. You guys listen to what we're watching and what we're seeing in front of our own eyes. But then later on, we then start to kind of say, this is all of a sudden becoming all Southampton. I think somebody even in the chat mentioned that they might have had something like 10 shots in the second half. Southampton, they were pretty much all over us. So I'm not really going to read too much into that. I think Spurs very much took their foot off the gas, took their foot off the pedal, but that was, maybe not necessarily, the, comforting, way to finish the game, the way that we were kind of just being dominated by Southampton, and at home as well. I think there were chances, to be fair, though, to make it 3-0, 4-0. I think those all pretty much fell to Dom Solanke. I'm not really sure if it fell to anybody else. It could be wrong. Maybe someone else might have had a chance that I'm forgetting, but Solanke did have moments to make it 3-0 or 4-0. Jerome, in that situation, if he was able to make it 3-0 or 4-0, do the team go on and push for 5 or 6, just because, it's just kind of fun to put a cricket score or basketball score past people? Maybe so. And the fact that he didn't take those chances maybe invited Southampton to just continue to put the pressure on us, continue to try to push for something. And they eventually got it. So, yeah, man, they don't make it easy, Spurs. But we did say in the very beginning of this stream, we will take a win of any kind. And that's what we were given. So I'm taking it, Jerome. And I did see your fan cam that was sent in yesterday. It was just, I was out all day. And as you said in the email, I know you said, sorry for sending it in a little late. It's just sort of 50-50 on that. I could have uploaded it, but I was out of the house all day, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the weather. And then by the time I really did get home, I think it was just way too late to post it, my man. But I appreciate you sending in that fan cam. And anybody who wants to send in their fan cams after today, feel free to do so. Also, as well, people that are fan show members, would love to have you guys join us this Monday evening, because we have a big game Thursday night and we want to know your thoughts ahead of that one. So please join us for that. And thank you, Jerome, my man. Thanks for supporting the channel, no matter what's going on, no matter how things unfold with Spurs.
No, big up Jerome. And look, I do think Johnson, it would have been nice, for him to take that penalty, get his hat-trick. I do think he deserves it, even though I still don't rate him to a large degree. But at the end of the day, maybe Johnson wasn't confident. Maybe he didn't want it. We don't know. I guess we'll find out. I'm sure Postecoglou will be asked about that, how that decision came about, in his post-match press conference, if he doesn't do that and to side-flect and, pop back at fans and stuff. But at the end of the day, we were under cosh. We just needed it to go in the back of the net. I don't really care who took it. 3 points is more important at the end of the day for me. But I do understand what you're saying. Look, Premier League hat-tricks, they're hard to come by. Johnson would have been delighted to get one, of course. He also won the penalty. But at the end of the day, team comes first and it's just got to go into the back of the net at the end of the day, get the 3 points on the board. But in terms of conceding another goal, look, it's just who we are, mate, isn't it, Jerome? It's another stupid sort of goal, right near the end of a game. I mean, but when we sit off like that and we do have good breakaways and, Son doesn't maximise his, Solanke's doesn't maximise his and that, you leave yourself open to this. And this is something that I've been trying to highlight all season. We are shit going forward. We don't take enough of our chances whatsoever. And, to our S. Fasir's point up there, the fact that we're hanging on against Southampton, it's embarrassing. It's not good enough. That game should have been a lot easier than what it was today. And look, at the end of the day, a win's a win. I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. I'm going to go and enjoy my day. But there is still that sense of frustration in terms of, for me, today was all about trying to spark Son into life. It didn't happen. Trying to spark Solanke into life. It didn't happen. Glossing up the scoreline, breathing a lot more confidence. Didn't happen. And there's a few disappointments. But at the end of the day, a win's a win. It is what it is. 3 points on the board. That's all that matters, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, King Hoddle, I think, summarizes it decently well here. He's saying a win is a win. It doesn't move the needle. It doesn't move the needle, but it is a mood lifter, all the same, and will restore a measure of confidence for Thursday. I think we just avoided any further drama, any further speculation, that type of thing, before Thursday night. I think we can just go into Thursday night just hoping that they can deliver, a really good performance and a good result, because that's really, the Europa League games are all that matters, King Hoddle, and these Premier League games are just ways to get some type of confidence and belief, in these players as well as in this fan base, before these, more important fixtures in the Europa League. So I think you're right. That's all that really, it's not like, we need to overanalyze all these games in the Premier League. It's just about getting, these wins to try to give ourselves that belief for the Europa League games that happen, in between, in the middle of the week. Some people are more interested in Dave's takeaway order, from the Indian takeaway than they really are, about the fallout of the game. So I don't necessarily blame you guys. The big cat
saying, someone said it, golf would have been more exciting watching, that second half.
Big Cat saying we need to score plenty and dominate the game on Thursday. The second leg will be tough when we need to dent them badly at the lane. 100% agree. Bush Ranger saying, thanks, boys. Enjoy your curry and enjoy your sleep. Thank you, Bush Ranger. Dark Sun G saying, Fulham beat Liverpool. LOL. Come on, you Spurs. Now bring on Europa. That's crazy that Fulham
did Arsenal win today?
Say that again.
Arsenal. If Liverpool lost, did Arsenal win?
Arsenal dropped points to Everton yesterday. They
Fucking
drew with Everton 1-1
oh,
with a
brilliant.
very dodgy penalty decision,
That
which
makes
was
my day
brilliant.
better.
So both teams, ended up, embarrassing themselves. But Dark Sun G, curious to know how the Outloud is doing for you. I mean, I imagine he's not too worried. The fact that Arsenal just continue to drop points doesn't make it, the biggest deal that Liverpool did today. But it's not really been the strongest of finishes for either team. When you think about it, Liverpool had a really good, beginning, stage of the season. And then kind of towards the end, kind of a bit like last season for them. I feel like they've had kind of a slow sort of end, or whatever you call it, kind of a quiet sort of end to the season. They're not ripping up any trees, at the end of the season, kind of like with Klopp. Like I remember with Klopp in his last season, everyone was talking about them winning like the quadruple, and then they only ended up, winning, what was it, like one or, the one cup or something, right? And it seems like it could be something similar for Arne Slot to a degree, which is kind of interesting, to be fair. DB saying, well done. I watched it all and managed to stay quiet and not upset. Dave, well done, chaps. Have a good evening, Jack, and enjoy your curry. Dave, thank you, DB. We do really appreciate it. Listen, man, I don't think you need to worry about upsetting, us or anything like that. It's just everyone's at their wits' end with Tottenham Hotspur. Everyone's, at sort of tension points and things like that. And, everybody's going to, it's all about Thursday night, man. That's what we need to get up for. That's what we need to sort of preserve our energy for, preserve our anxiety for, preserve our sort of, our anxiety for us for Thursday night, really, at the end of the day. There's no reason to lose heads over this one. The only thing I just wasn't taking was, at 5:30 in the morning, being called a pathetic fan and stuff like that. It's like, listen, man, like I could actually, if really, I would stay in bed if really, if I in another world. But at the end of the day, I'm a sucker for Tottenham Hotspur and a sucker for hanging out with you guys. It's just nice to hang out with you guys and enjoy the games, and wake myself up to that. So DB, let's preserve all the stress for Thursday night, my man. We Are Spurs TV, a red sauce pork curry. It sounds lovely. Artist T saying it's time for Jets, Jack. Man, if only I could drive right now, but I'd probably fall asleep at the wheel. So I'm just gonna go back to bed, and then I'll be thinking about some sort of pizza or maybe something of some kind later. Dark Sun G saying we love relegating teams in recent seasons.
Do you know what? That's just to make sure we don't get relegated ourselves. I was sitting there thinking, about 5 minutes ago, I was like, that's one off now. Just need another two to officially get relegated, and then we could sit here going, we are staying up, which is quite embarrassing, I know. But, you got to try and make some light out of what's going on this season, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, that's just what Spurs are all about, Dark Sun G, just guaranteeing that the teams that are worse than us stay beneath us, and we just continue to hang on. Outer as Vasari, I don't think we saw you earlier in the chat, so it's just good to have you with us, my friend. We Are Spurs TV saying, Dave, go for a Thai curry instead of the Indian curry. I'm not sure if there's any Thai places near Dave.
Oh, no. I do. I do like a Thai curry. I love Thai red curry and I love a Thai green curry. I think they're both equally great in their own right. So I actually really like them, to be honest. Now, the reason why I'm not going for one today is because my missus made this sort of Thai green sort of stir fry thing yesterday. So I already, got that sort of ticked off. So today is about, a nice takeaway. It's been all the way since Ipswich since I've been able to go and have my Indian. The Indian guy down there keeps ringing me every day. Dave, what's going on at Tottenham? We need you to win so I can take your money and stuff like that. So, I'm going to go down there and enjoy that today. But yeah, that's why I'm on the Indian today, my man, instead of the Thai curries. But I do like a Thai curry. Look, I like all curries, to be honest. Irish curry, English curry, Thai curry, doesn't matter, Indian curry, I love it all. I just love curry.
Dave doesn't discriminate against curries. He enjoys them all. Dark Sun G saying, I think Kane is cursed. Bayern injury crisis at the moment. I'm not actually too aware of what's going on at Bayern. Dark Sun G, from what I could tell, it looks like they're well and truly on to go and win the league because Leverkusen have just, kind of really not been playing well from what I can tell. Xabi Alonso, I've even heard, is under a bit of pressure. So, it's kind of going to be a winning season of some kind for Harry Kane. He looks like he is going to win a trophy. And I think I think he can take it. But yeah, maybe in terms of the Champions League, it might end up being a sad end in his case. But again, I'm not, as much as I would love to be informed on the Bundesliga this year, I haven't been as formed as I usually am. So that is interesting to know that maybe they won't be as confident going into their Champions League games. By the way, we should be doing some big watch alongs for the Champions League. So we'd love to have you with us, Dark Sun G, for that. It'd be great to have you with us, my man, and plenty of you other people, as well as you could also use it as an opportunity while there's going to be a great game going on in the background. These Champions League games look like they're going to be really spicy and really enjoyable. But it'd be great if you guys joined us if you wanted to chat about Spurs before Thursday night as well. You sort of use it as a free opportunity to come on as a fan show type atmosphere of some kind. Talk about Spurs, talk about life, talk about your favorite curries. Anything is really on the table.
I will say, just quickly, Dark Sun G, I'll be honest, I find it hard to watch Bayern Munich this year, just knowing what we sold and the void that we have, because of it. I find it really, really hard, I'll be honest, my man. But, I still hope my boy Harry does well. He knows. He still loves me.
West Coast Spurs saying, I saw on TV that Johnson had held up 3 fingers when he and Tell were over the ball, but he is too nice to just grab the ball. But where's the manager on the captain or the captain in the field? I would imagine that perhaps Tell is higher up in the pecking order in the penalties. Maybe Johnson isn't necessarily a penalty taker, so that also could be the case that Matisse Tell was the one that would take the penalty as the striker on the pitch, and then Johnson wanted the opportunity to score a hat trick, but then he kind of felt like, you know what, Matisse Tell technically, wants a goal, but then also he might actually be the designated penalty taker if Dom Solanke isn't on and if Sonny is on. I also don't know about that situation. Like, usually you would think teams would know, like, okay, there's the designated penalty taker, which is Sonny. Then there's the other penalty taker in case Sonny isn't on the pitch. But do they often know? And also Madison wasn't on the pitch, and I would imagine maybe Madison might be one of the other penalty takers.
Yeah.
So when it's like 4th, 5th option, is there even a 4th or 5th, penalty taker? Like, does it go that long? Dave, do you know for a fact if it goes that deep? Where once your third option is off the pitch, like, do they even know who the 4th penalty taker is?
No, everyone will be. There will be a ranking. Everyone knows who the penalty takers are at what, given the situations on the pitch, etc. That'll be made well clear to them. And I'll be honest, if Johnson's not on that list and he takes that and he misses, Ange goes mad. Everyone else goes mad. You're not listening to manager. You've just gone rogue. You're doing what you want to do, etc., etc. Look, I get it. It's sentimental reasons. Johnson for the hat trick and stuff like that. And I think to a degree, if it was 2-0. Johnson probably would have been given the opportunity to take it, but the fact that it was 2-1 and we needed to kill the game, I think then, you go to whatever the penalty taker is. That's it at the end of the day. At the end of the day, the team's greater good should be more than any individuals. At the end of the day, the team should always be put first, whether people like it or not. I do think the right decision was made. However harsh it is on Brennan Johnson, the team is always first.
Yeah. Stevie Frazier, appreciate your support. Big up, lads. Nice one. Tyler saying Ramsdale got relegated again. Love to hear that, Tyler. I think that's something Dark Sun G would sort of point out to us. Maybe you just beat him to the ball there.
Yeah.
Jerome saying, don't worry about
Soren as well. Good to see you, Soren. Hopefully you're keeping well.
Good man, Soren. Jerome saying, don't worry about uploading, Jack. I was having a rant, especially after the ear cupping nonsense. Listen, Jerome, like, if you want me, I'd be happy, to upload it for the members, for other people to see from the Chelsea game. And, I imagine some people would be curious to know what you have to say or what you did.
Come on Monday and tell us.
Game, or maybe just come on Monday if you have time. I know it's crazy times for you, if it's really early in the morning before work and stuff. But if you're up that early, we'd love to have you with us. We can also bump you up in the queue because we always love listening to Jerome, and we understand that you're a busy man and you got a family and job and plenty of things going on. So, would love to hear from you. But yeah, I'm actually curious what you have to say about the ear cupping situation. Maybe I'll just listen to it just for personal reasons, just hear what you have to say. So then I can steal all your points for next time when I have to come on stream and get piggyback of what you had to say. But thank you, Jerome, man. You didn't even need to send that in. I was actually looking for your comments anyway. So it's very generous of you, my man. DB saying, wow, you go, girl. I mean, Dave.
Yeah, because he's winding me up. He always says, oh, Dave loves the girl curry. I was like, to be fair, I've gone from a korma to a tikka masala. I'm starting to go through the heats a little bit, but he said, no, it's still a girl's curry.
Oh, well, he's developing in front of our eyes, DB. He's growing up too fast. He's growing up too fast.
I tell you, if we start winning games next season, I might try and attempt the Rogan Josh live.
Fazzy Ratfar, good to see you, Fazzy. How are we? Nearly got a 4-1. It was a 3-1, though. Saying Ange is now blamed for not going for it. You can't win. I don't really know if Dave and I are necessarily saying that, like, we're blaming it on Ange, really. I think it's just that Spurs at the moment were just still, like, not that convincing, the fact that we
That's the
couldn't really
thing.
just
Yeah.
blow away Southampton, right? It is, it's not. I don't know. It's just I'm not reading that deep into it at the end of the day, Faz Radfar, but I'm not really blaming Ange for that. It is a tad bit concerning that we aren't, capable of putting 5, 6 past them. But I'd argue like Dom Solanke was the one that probably could have been the guy to do that. Like he did have 2 really good breakaways, and in a way from his own, sort of bully man, type of work where he shoved players off the ball or he, stole the ball off of someone. And, after his good hard work, made runs in behind. And then as a striker, if you're a striker, you got to put those away, man. Like, so you could argue there
I
was
do.
a chance to go 4-0 up, 5-0 up, and those kind of fell to Dom Solanke. And then would the game have been different if he had put those away? It kind of felt like
He still
Southampton
had a
were the
massive
better team in
breakaway
the
as well.
second, but maybe if he puts those away, Dave, it might be we're talking about a different scoreline here.
No, look, I do understand Faz Radfar's point, right? It's like a couple of weeks ago. Everyone calls him stubborn, doesn't rotate enough. The minute he rotates, we lose a game. People have a pop at him for it, right? I do understand the point in general that Faz Radfar is actually trying to make. It is coming to the point where maybe, us as fans, to a degree, we are becoming a little bit hypocritical. But what I would say is I think that more reflects on people just are not having this guy whatsoever. No matter what he does, if we lose games, they're just not having him. I think that's the bigger thing I look into, that people just ain't having him anymore at all. But look, in general, I think he done the right thing, instructing the players not to go and continue on the press for the rest of that game. It's a hot day, it's a warm day. You don't want to waste any energy. You're 2-0 up, conserve your energy and, hit them on the breakaway. But this is where I agree with Jack. We had more than enough chances on the breakaway again to go and score a couple. Son, 2 bad
Yeah.
touches and a bad shot. Solanke, he had what, 4 or 5? And I mean,
In the game in
honestly,
total, yeah.
some of his first touches are absolutely embarrassing. So we did have more than enough breakaways. I'm getting the hiccups now. To gloss this scoreline up, but I do understand the point that Faz Radfar is making. Look, we were at this under Conte when Conte was ridiculed for being too stubborn, not making changes, made them. We lost the game, people went ballistic, and stuff like that. But it just shows that, to me, it's a telltale sign it's coming to an end. Regardless of what he does, people ain't having him.
DJ AK with the most dad joke ever. He's saying my Indian takeaway man fell to hospital when he found out he had a dodgy tikka. Tika. That's the most dad
That's a
joke
good
I've
one.
seen
No,
in
I
the
actually
chat.
enjoyed
That's
that.
the most dad joke I've seen in the chat in some time, DJ. Good for you, my man. Just gonna catch up here with some other funny comments from people. Listen, I'm in a decent mood because of a win. I think people are probably hearing me a bit wrong, with my comments towards the end about the Brennan Johnson tell thing. But I said in the very beginning, I will take a win of any kind. I think King Hoddle sort of feels the same way. There were some other comments I wanted to find, just after Faz's, but maybe I
If
lost
you
them.
can
So
get
I
them
do
through all the Curry
apologize,
comments.
everybody. Everyone, see also, the Curry chat has been excellent. Aussie, Coys, saying exactly, Jack, winning won't change much, but a loss would have been a disaster. Just feeling discord. That's what I mean by, just take a win so that we can avoid the further just sort of just kind of drama, really, of having to talk about these defeats, and having to analyze them, to some degree, just take a win so that we just can avoid that sort of spell and
Yeah.
just those difficult conversations because they've been hard, man. I feel like Dave and I have been on overdrive, really, with
Well,
having to explain, various things around Tottenham Hotspur when it comes to some of these defeats. It just feels good to have a win to talk about, really,
well,
and even if there's a lot of nuance, there's a lot of context, there's a lot of gray area, but Dave and I do so much better in that situation, than having to talk out about loss after loss after
yeah.
loss after loss. Like I said that to Dave, like plenty of people know this. I'm a happy clapper at heart. I have been put through the ringer this season in terms of having to be as objective as I can about losses and whatnot, and just trying to see where's the light at the end of the tunnel. How do we get out of this? What's the right way to fix things? These sort of conversations. Like I try my best, but I do so much better when Spurs are winning. I feel like even my own analysis is so much better when Spurs are winning. And I think Dave does brilliant analysis no matter what. But I know he's the sort of guy that is, also a bit cut from the same cloth. I think are much more
Reveling with
enjoyable as people when we're winning games, and we've even been made fun of for that, as the happy clapper
him.
crew, in the past. Like I said, we've taken back that word, made it a term of endearment now for plenty of people, but it's how we prefer to be. It's the mode, it's the setting that we prefer to be in is a winning team. And we love to be intolerable when we're winning. We'd rather not have to talk about losses and how do we build ourselves from here? It's just good to even analyze a win, whether it's a gray area type of win. I don't care really. It's just nice to even be having a different conversation just in general. Feels
Yeah.
good.
No, honestly, it's just nice to have a breakaway from all of Tottenham's problems and everything else. At the end of the day, sometimes you just get sick to the death of speaking about it. Because I'm not being funny, but it's the same as all you guys out there. It affects your mood after. Affects our mood after. Do you know what I mean? It affects our mood coming into every day. It's like, oh, do I even just want to bother talking about Tottenham today? Like, it's just, no one wants to be sitting here talking about problems at the football club. But at the end of the day, it's important when you're winning, it's important to enjoy it. But when you're losing, it's important to analyze to how you get to winning. You know what I mean? And look, I don't do a great job of it here. When we lose, I cry, I moan, I get upset. I don't really, I can't think straight and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the way I've seen today's game is win or lose, Ange Postecoglou is going to be in the job until the Europa League game Thursday night anyway. And I'd much rather go into it off the back of a win and just having 4 days of just a bit of a settled period heading into the game rather than sitting here with another loss and throwing my toys and dummy out of the pram for the next fucking 4 days. At the end of the day, I am an optimistic person in general in life, and this kills me, this absolutely kills me being like this. But at the end of the day, a win's a win, and I'll take it and I'll move on. And I appreciate all the kind words, by the way, losing a bit of confidence lately, I think that's probably more to do with Tottenham pissing me off and everything else. But I really appreciate it. So thank you.
And thank you guys for all the support that's been coming in. I think Dark Sun G saying after Faz Radfar, Dark Sun G was saying Ryan Sessegnon scored against them and Iwobi against Everton. Laughed my ass off. Yeah, that's pretty brilliant. To be fair, Ryan Sessegnon was brought up a few times in the chat, for his goal. Maybe the guy's coming back, but I'm kind of glad to be rid of him, to be honest, Dark Sun G. I'm kind of glad that he is back at Fulham, but fair play to him that he's got, given some misery to Liverpool after giving some misery to us there. And then Dark Sun G actually followed up, Dave, by saying, did you guys choose your Champions League game? Might as well maybe do that out loud for people. This is something usually Dave and I would do sort of behind closed doors, but we can sort of talk about it now. In terms of Tuesday evening, Dave, we have the choices of Bayern versus Inter or Arsenal versus Real Madrid. Do you have a choice between those two? I mean, they both sound great. Like, I kind of want to have both on at the same time.
Why don't we just have both of them on at the same time or whatever?
I might do that. I think you can do that at least. And I mean, cheeky plug. Another reason to get the VPN is, technically in the USA, there is, I think, with Paramount, I think you can sort of put both games on at the same time, technically, or there's like a way to do like a split screen sort of function that they allow. I would like to probably watch both at the same time, Dark Century, but if I were to pick one or the other, I think I would go for Arsenal, Real Madrid, just because like the drama of it, it's Real Madrid too. Like, I do kind of like the spectacle of seeing them play in the Champions League. And with Bayern and Inter, I think that's more for like the tactico hipsters. That's a real good game for, I think, the tactical aspect of it. Inzaghi versus Vincent Kompany, two very different styles of play, but at the same time, two teams full of world-class players on either side of the pitch. And then with Arsenal, Real Madrid, I'm just looking to see some Arsenal misery, really, because once they lose to Real Madrid, their season is virtually over, which would be fun to see, and, Ange Postecoglou would accuse me of not being a fan, by saying that, but I do enjoy watching Arsenal lose. I would try to, maybe I think we're going to do both at the same time. In terms of Wednesday, Barcelona, Dortmund, I would go for PSG, Aston Villa. I think we'll go for PSG, Aston Villa. I'm really enjoying PSG right now, man. PSG are just a joy to watch.
Yeah, they are good to watch.
Like it's like the old Messi, Neymar, Suarez watching Barcelona.
It's just exciting to watch the four players. Any one of them get the ball, you expect something to happen.
And Dave and I are becoming big fans of their midfielders as well.
Yeah,
Dark Century, I think, Joao Neves and
Ruben.
Vitinha
Yeah,
are just
João
like,
Neves.
they're just two brilliant midfielders. Their whole
Yeah.
team has become really enjoyable to watch. So I think I would go for PSG, Aston Villa, to be honest. And as well, a little Spanish derby there between the two managers, the likes of Luis Enrique
Mm.
versus Unai Emery. Fish and chips for King Huddle, Bosch, Dark
No
Sun
mushy
G.
peas, King Huddle.
Say that again.
No mushy peas, King Huddle.
Yeah,
For the
maybe
fish
get
and
what
chips.
are the side orders? Darkson G, Musiala, Upamecano, Davies, Ito, all injured. Yeah, a lot of defenders there. And also when they're missing Alfonso Davies, that is a big loss for them. He's
Mm.
by far, someone that really helps them tick. Swim Master, I'm not sure if we said hello to you. Really do appreciate you. Thanks for hopping in and thanks for being a member. Simon Gibbs,
Big
I
up,
didn't see
Simon.
too many comments from you, but I'll bring up this one now. And thank you for the donation from earlier. Simon Gibbs saying we need to push on now with positivity and confidence and see where it takes us, win the next
Mm.
3 games, and then all of a sudden it's a different vibe around the club. I mean, geez, win
100.
the next game and, the vibe would really, really improve. I'm telling you, Thursday night, if they pick up a win, I think there would be a massive lift around this football club and around this fan base, let alone 3 wins. 3 wins, it might be, I think I'd become intolerable after 3 wins. I'd be back to
Everyone will be
absolutely
wearing
delusional.
handball sweaters if we get 3 on the
The
fence.
Ange ball. I'd be ordering another Ange ball sweater if that was the case. Simon Gibbs, 3 wins, man. You're spoiling me here. You've been giving me that idea of 3 wins. I mean, if we win Thursday night in any regard, like I am going to be happy clapping to the moon, my man. So,
Well, I think you win
yeah.
Thursday night. It just gives you, even the most pessimistic fan that is down right now, it gives you that little bit of hope and that little bit of belief. Yeah, it's hope and belief. Like no one actually sits here and thinks, "Oh, we're going to go on and win the Europa League right now the way we've been." But most things in life is about hope. You know what I mean? And that's all we need sometimes, just a little bit of hope. And that's what people want at the end of the day. So hopefully we can deliver that Thursday night, Simon. Big up, my man. Really appreciate your support today, buddy.
And then Jerome saying, "Yeah, we'll come on Monday. We will chat then." Appreciate that, Jerome. We'd love to
Grand.
have a chat with you. Really appreciate you.
Big up, Jerome.
And thanks for the comments, Simon Gibbs. Do appreciate Faz Rafar saying, "Big up to both. Always a balanced view. Love it. Hence my favorite channel." Hey, Faz. This is the thing. Like Dave and I, we are strong in our opinions sometimes, right? We don't hold back. I know Dave doesn't. I try not to as well, but we enjoy listening to what other people have to say. We like to hear what other people think, about the club, where they think things are going wrong and stuff. We might not always agree, but we're not going to just, cast
And I will
people
let you know
out,
if
or
I
we don't
disagree.
want this to be a bubble of any kind. It's pretty much the opposite. I think, we're one of the channels that really does try to make it as open to anyone really to come on and have their say,
Mm.
whether Dave and I agree with them or not, at the end of the day.
Mm.
Even though, like I said, we have our own strong opinions about things, but we want it to be an open floor and an open debate and an open discussion. It's just, I think the only thing that, as you saw from the beginning of the stream, it was early for me, so I kind of derailed it, but I just don't like ever being accused of not being a fan.
No
It's
one
just,
does.
that's my only thing that I just don't tolerate. Is like, at the end of the day, I'm I do hosting, I do a lot of sort of, kind of balancing and moderation. Like I try to listen to a million opinions at once and, hear people out. It's just then if I get ever accused of not being a Spurs fan, it's like, geez, like, it's just, or even just acting as if, Dave or I are the problem or anything like that. I lose my head at that. But not saying you're saying that. I'm now just going on a completely different tangent. So thank you
I
very
am
much
the
for the nice
problem.
compliment. Thank you very much for the nice
I
compliment.
am the problem. I didn't want to sell Harry Kane, Jack. I'm a huge problem. No, but in all seriousness, though, like, please do come on these fan show, guys. The whole idea behind them is so that we can just speak to you one-on-one, a bit of personal conversation with you guys. And at the end of the day, I want to make it clear, these fan shows aren't set up just for people that agree with us. If you disagree with us, you know, come on and let us know why. Tell us what you disagree with and stuff like that. As long as you're not being a cock, you're more than welcome to come on and disagree with us. And in fact, I would argue I want more people to come on and disagree, actually. I actually enjoy the debates and all that sort of stuff. I will say, if I don't agree with you, I will let you know, though. But, just make sure you come on and have your say, guys. It's what it's for at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Dark Sun G, and thank you for the kind words as always, Faz. Dark Sun G saying, at least we rested Van de Ven and Udogi for Thursday. Also, Leverkusen is only 6 points behind Bayern at the moment. Bayern
Fuck.
lost Davis, Upamecano, Ito, and Jamal Musiala.
Yeah, that was a
Huge
huge one.
blows to them. Yeah, I had no idea. I actually thought that maybe Bayern did have a bigger lead than that. I just have heard that things haven't gone too well for Xabi Alonso and Leverkusen recently, but 6 points is only 6 points, and there
Mm.
can be a lot of drama in the Bundesliga. Funny enough about the Bundesliga, it's definitely been more interesting than in seasons past. In other years, it was just all Bayern, and then it was kind of about all the rest of the teams and see where they kind of finished out. Whereas in recent seasons, it's definitely been a lot more interesting. So I wish I were paying attention a bit more to it. So thank you for the context on that, Dark Sun G. But David, he did mention, resting Van de Ven and Udogi. I mean, Van de Ven, always good to give that guy rest. His
Yeah.
hamstrings are worth 40 million pounds alone. But with Udogi, I mean, is he a shoe-in to play Thursday night, or do you go with Pedro Porro?
No. I'll be brutally honest with you, Jack. I don't think Pedro Porro done enough today to get himself in there. Look, I understand the selection today because he was never really going to be tested defensively. It was all about us going forward, and I think that to a large degree, that's why he's played. But I think against Frankfurt, I probably would be a little bit more cautious, and I probably would bring him back in for the defensive solidity. At the end of the day, we are at home. I know we have to go and score goals, but we also don't want to, concede a shed load. And if you play Pedro Porro, you bet your bottom dollar they're going to target him, and they're going to target him all game long. So I think personally, I would bring a doggy back in at left back, despite him being shit going forward in possession. At the end of the day, you don't want to concede goals either. You still want to give yourself a hope going away from home. So I would bring him back in. Look, Van de Ven, it was the right call, cramped up against Chelsea. I think we all started feeling our hamstrings when he started feeling his the other night. So I'm just glad that he will be available Thursday. But just quickly as well, I'm surprised a lot more people aren't putting Xabi Alonso's name forward, in terms of the Tottenham job, in terms of Tottenham going after him. Maybe I'm a bit more surprised about that, considering the job he's done out there at Leverkusen. But in terms of Tottenham, though, Dark Sun G, it's good that we've got some rest into some of these players. And look, hopefully we see Van de Ven's freshness Thursday night, Adogi's freshness Thursday night. That's the idea of resting behind these guys, that they're ready to go Thursday night and they're fresh and they can put in a good performance for 90 minutes. So hopefully they can show up. Look, the good thing is we're just getting there on the back of a win, and let's take it from there.
DB, very kind comment saying easily the best all-around show in the Spurs land. To be frank, without this community, I'd probably be checked out this season. DB, I'd be in a very similar boat right now, man. That's why I do enjoy, hanging out with you guys. I'm also very privileged as an American.
Cry with all the love, guys. Come on.
It's been very, very nice of you guys. As a Yank as well, like waking up at this time, when I grew up watching Spurs, like it was a lonely life. I didn't have any Spurs fans that I grew up with. Everybody else was, not even really a football fan, for the most part. And then also, if I did run into another football fan, they'd be like a Barca fan, they'd be like Real Madrid fan, Liverpool fan, these sort of kind of big clubs and whatnot. I never really came across Spurs fans. And you're waking up sometimes in the West Coast, like a 4:30 a.m., 6 a.m. You're lucky if you get, a noon kickoff, right? But then in that situation, it's usually during the middle of the day, during the middle of school, these sort of things. And, I'm now very, very lucky and very privileged to be able to hang out with you guys and also just be even included by you guys, just being accepted by you guys, for the most part. And, without this community as well, DB, I'd also be checked out for the most part, so this is what I mean before when we kind of say like, Spurs will knock us down. Spurs will definitely test our patience and definitely test our wits. But this is why it's really nice to have, sort of this community of ours that we've built here all together, really, so that we can ride these storms and these roller coasters together, really. That's what it's all about, because Spurs will put you through the ringer. They will put you through the ringer. But this is what makes, I think, being a part of these sort of communities so much it makes it easier at the end of the day. It does. Like, it makes it so that when the next game comes around, that there are going to be other people that you can cheer along with, that you can sort of get pumped up with, that you can, vent your frustrations with, and that sort of thing. So I'm very, very lucky, DB, and I do appreciate the kind comment. And also Stevie Frazier saying pretty much the most balanced YouTube Spurs channel. Don't sweat the strange ones, lad. I derailed the show in the beginning. Stevie Frazier. I'm gonna probably apologize for that. But again, very, very kind. And then Hetch saying best channel, Dave's rants are my therapy.
Well, appreciate that. Look, I know my missus is delighted for it, because at least she doesn't have to sit there, and listen to me bitch, moan, rant, and rave in practically what is a foreign language. You know what I mean? Because she's getting into football now, but back at the time she hadn't a clue what I was on about or the disappointment and stuff like that. So she's very, very grateful for it. And look, so am I. Honestly, like I've said this many times. It's absolutely changed my life in terms of so many aspects in terms of just having so many friends, people to share my thoughts with, people that, yeah, we disagree, but, just speaking to Spurs fans, again, growing up here in Ireland, they're becoming a little bit more popular over the Pochettino years and stuff like that. But, again, there's very few Spurs fans to turn to. If I want to turn around to a United fan and tell them my problems, like, bore off, Dave, I'm enjoying success. If I want to turn around to a Liverpool fan, they'll do the same thing, you know what I mean? So, this is what I love about it. And look, I get it, I think I'm very unpopular in the Spurs community to a large degree. I don't say a lot of things that maybe people resonate or agree with and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, this is what I love about this, and this is the whole ethos that we're trying to build here. We can all have our opinions, but respect for each other and the plight that we go through as Spurs fans should always be the basis of it. After that, we can have these respectful conversations, whether we agree, disagree. But at the end of the day, what I take solace from is we all want this club to win trophies. We all go through the same point. We all want the same outcome. So, let's try and keep it going that way.
And then Simon Gibbs as well. Very, very kind of you. Very kind words, by the way. I think he said something earlier that I can't find again, but he said something that was nice. And then he also said, bye, guys. Thanks. I'll be joining you on Thursday and probably every watch along for the remainder of the season. It's grown up, intelligent stuff that you serve up. Cheers. I'd like to think we are grown-ups, but to call us intelligent is very, very kind. I don't know if we'll ever say that about ourselves.
I'm not growing up.
Maybe every now and again it might be, if we attempt to try to be intelligent, but that's very, very kind of you, Simon Gibbs. And again, everybody with the very kind comments, we really do appreciate it. Especially before Thursday, when we got to get up for it. It's been very heartwarming, so I appreciate you all. Dark Sun G saying Spurs is cursed this season. Is our opponent's ace always returns from suspension or injuries? For your information, Cunha will return for Wolves next week against us. So typical. It's been that sort of season, though, hasn't it, Dark Sun G? As much as there have been things that have been within our control that maybe we've gotten wrong. There's so many things that have just been ridiculous, that have gone against us this year. And even, I don't know, this is recency bias, but even the referee, man, against freaking Chelsea, that guy was just, again, just a signal of this season. Exactly. It's just a signal of this season has just been a basket case. It's been a weird one. And
don't get me wrong. I agree, Jack. We have been absolutely atrocious for most of this year. But I'm still complaining about the referees because they have also been so biased towards Tottenham in a lot of their decisions. As bad as we've been and we don't help ourselves, they also hate us.
And Dark Sun G is just saying this season has had a bit of a cursed sort of vibe to it, right? From the get-go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap up here. I know.
No, it's all right. Just keep on.
But Dark Sun G, man, yeah, I know it's had a very cursed vibe to it, dude. It's had a very cursed vibe from the injuries to suspensions, even on our own end, right? We've had various, sort of things from Bentancur to, Basuma on the balloons, days before, the season even began, to, sort of the signings, ending up happening at the very end of the window. Like Dom Solanke came in, a day or two before the beginning of the season, with no preseason or anything. Romero giving no time off, Udogie being given no time off. It's just been a strange season, man. It really has. So it has had that cursed element to it. And then also maybe with other players, like you're saying, that have either come back from injuries or suspensions. Even recently with Chelsea, right? We saw Cole Palmer, Madueke, and I forget, but I think it was Nicholas Jackson, all come back. Their three most important players all come back for, of course, against Spurs, because I mean, Chelsea fans would make fun of me for saying this, but they love playing against Spurs. It's like their cup final, right? So the fact that those three players, their three most important players, all came back for that game is just so typical. It's just so typical. But a battle at the bottom against Wolves.
I will add, though, Jack, I don't like when these Wolves games come around. I've just got bad memories against Wolves. You go back to the one, was it under Conte? We threw away a win. We've got done by them this season. I remember I travelled over under Nuno, where, first game into the new stadium. I think we got done in that game as well. Just my whole lifetime, Wolves, no matter where they are or what form they're in, they make it a very tough game for Tottenham Hotspur. So I'm always wary with them fuckers coming around. But what I will say is if we can get something Thursday night, a win, and you're going to beat Wolves on the weekend, it changes the mood heading into that away game against Frankfurt, which is badly needed. So, I do think there's an ideal opportunity in a way to get back-to-back wins together. But like I said, I can never take them fuckers for granted because they always ruin my day.
100%. But yeah, it's been so cursed, Dark Sun G. Kate and Jimbo, thanks for leaving a comment in the chat. Really appreciate you guys. And hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your weekend. Someone said, AK Shag saying, I'm going on a fast till we score our next goal. I'd say eat something now, AK Shags. Eat something now. You might be waiting a while. Ed Martin.
There'll be nothing left of Ed next season because we might not score again this season, lad.
Michael W. saying it's a win, and for 3 days we can have some semi-positive conversations about Spurs on Thursday. Yeah, I'm also just looking forward to a welcome distraction by the Champions League. I love when the Champions League reaches, the quarterfinal stages. I think it starts to get really spicy. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Tuesday panel show as well. We get to talk with some others. Looking forward to the fan show. Would love again for you guys to join us because it was a little slow last time. I think the fan show did brilliantly on Big Up on Friday. It was great to have as many people that came on and to have their say, but would love to have a lot of people come on tomorrow so that we can chat about, a very, very important week. It's a huge week for this club. So please, everybody, do join us. Ed Martin saying, man, it just feels good to win.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, I can go and enjoy my Sunday now, but not only that, I think we can have some constructive conversations heading into the Frankfurt game, more around, what players are best suited for this type of game and what we need in this sort of game rather than all of Tottenham's problems from A to Z, So, yeah, look, a win changes everybody's mood. We've been unhappy this season. There's been people in the chat that's been so unhappy this season with what's going on. But one thing we all like is winning games of football. I'd argue I can actually enjoy the Champions League this week because I struggle to be able to sit there and enjoy watching games of football when I see players doing what Tottenham players I feel should be doing on the football pitch. So at least I can enjoy it this week now, Ed. But big up, very enjoyable, my man.
Darson G just adding on to his comment from earlier saying, remember, guys, Tonali even returned after his gambling suspension against Spurs. It never ends, Darson G. I know we're saying this season is cursed, but I mean, Tottenham Hotspur just feel cursed in general, right? That's the thing. It feels like we have to try 2 times as hard than other teams, even just to get a win sometimes. Everything's stacked up against us. Wemberley, thank you for the support, Wemberley. And also, you're in the chat all the time. You're very, very supportive of us on this channel, so thank you for the donation as well. Saying, could it possibly do with Cess now being under the watch of a proper medical team? That's wondering.
A fair point, lad.
I mean, so many players you think about, the Lo Celsos of the world, Richarlison, like what if he ever goes to a different team? Well, all of a sudden, his injuries go away. I mean, Dave, even Solanke's had a lot of knocks and a lot of injuries. And before that, this guy had like an injury-free record, like pretty much his whole career. Like, it's just insane to think about.
No, look, I think Wembley is absolutely spot on. And, if that is the case, maybe I do need to rethink some of the criticism I've given some of these guys in the past. But, look, I've done a lot of digging into it this year because, a lot of people were putting the stuff on Ange Postecoglou in terms of the injuries. And I wanted to go and do a lot of research into that medical department before I would give my opinion on whether I think it is down to what he's asking them to do in training or whether the medical department is in disarray. And I think it's a bit of both, but I do think, mainly the medical department has been in disarray. And you look at it's just my whole lifetime. It's all we've been like, I just feel like, I don't know whether people agree with me or not, but it just feels like we've been an injury-plagued club my whole lifetime. And I do think, when I look at the disarray that's happened in the medical department, I think they've had 2 reviews of it in the space of 6 months. Geoff Scott left, never replaced him. Players seeking so much treatment outside of the club, not speaking about openly not trusting their medical department and stuff, and that can't be good. Imagine them going in every day and the physios coming in every day, looking at each other and stuff like that. It's like knowing they don't like each other or trust each other and shit like that. It's not a good environment to be in. And, it's just not good enough. But I think Wembley has a point, and like I have a point, it feels like we've always been an injury-plagued club. Why? It's not like we're going out there, like your point, Jack Solanke, like we're not going out there and sign players with a long history of injuries. They come to Tottenham and they can barely get out on the field. It's a problem.
Yeah, no, 100%. Wemberley saying as well, though, like, I think he's just reminding us, that maybe that conversation of the panel show that we might have had a while back that even you and I, Dave, sometimes even forget about it. Sam, I know, has complained about the injuries being Andrew's fault, but, I remember him also agreeing with us, about like, oh, maybe the medical team is like kind of the deeper issue. At the end of the day, it's just, it's I just think, yeah, it's one of those huge factors that it's just hard to remember sometimes and like always
Yeah,
hard to incorporate. Like, but it is like a lot deeper than I think people realize, and it is one of the big. It's one of the big. I don't know what the right word is right now. I'm hungover, but it's like a big hindrance or it's a big just obstacle to us.
yeah,
This year as well as last year and other years as well. Like you think about it. How many times has this club been derailed by injuries, and it also has to do with the recruitment, right? We don't usually do enough on the recruitment side in case that injuries do happen. And once we do get those injuries, we're
it's like they're not
usually
a factor
screwed.
at
We
the
kind of
moment.
set ourselves up to be screwed, really. And Spurs, it's one of those things that it's always hard to remember and incorporate in the discussion. But I think there was that great panel show that Dave did say, yeah, he did a lot of research into about this medical team, and it's something that we have to remind ourselves of. Like, there is a really big issue there with them, and it's not even been an Ange thing. It's been, and that's the point, really. This has been happening before Ange Postecoglou. It wasn't
Yeah,
even a recent phenomenon since he's been here. So great comment from Wemberley. Great
yeah.
comment. But yeah, Sessignon back on fire, I guess. Artist saying, Jack, you need Jets pizza. Jets pizza time. Listen, man, if I could drive, I would right now up to get it, but I think I am just going to go back to sleep. And
You're not
then
getting
I'll
delivered,
take
no?
it from there. But listen, man, next time I'm up in Linwood, not sure when that will be. I would love to get that Jets pizza and bring it home with me. Definitely will. Appreciate you, man. But Sunday night, as you maybe know, I'm a big Mexican food fan. Sunday night is
Mm.
literally in my family a Mexican food night, so it might have to be the Mexican food tonight. But I promise, when I am in Linwood, I have it saved on the Google Maps. I will not be missing it. The Jets Pizza will be acquired.
You'll have to take a picture and prove it to them now moving forward.
He
So they
won't
know.
believe me. You're right. I will have to take a picture. I'll have to post it to the members. I'll have to post it to the members just to make sure that Artist T believes me, just so that I don't feel like he's that I'm lying to him. Big up, man. Though I will enjoy it. Trust me. Detroit style pizza is absolutely my favorite. Is my favorite. And I'm also curious. Does anyone else have any Jets pizza loving or Detroit style pizza loving? Dark Sun G saying Bundesliga became competitive once Kane went. Now this is like again this is this is the funny thing again about Spurs, right? Spurs being
So
cursed. Like,
perfect.
how cursed is Harry Kane? How cursed are Spurs? The fact that Harry Kane, the moment he goes to the Bundesliga, all of a sudden a different team wins the Bundesliga. Two managers getting sacked
Mm.
inside like the space of a year. Nagelsmann gets sacked. Tuchel gets sacked. It's crazy. And even now, like you're saying, with the injuries before their biggest game in the Champions League against Inter Milan, like the dude is just truly well encouraged. He made it all the way to a Euros final, only to then lose to Spain. And Spain had a bunch of kids, like it was led by Lamine
And
Yamal
Spain were
and
off the grid for years.
yeah. And no one, I think, really had them as like the favorites of any
No.
kind, Spain. Even before the game, I don't think even people had, Spain as the favorites. Maybe England fans were just because they wanted to try to be a bit more conservative, right? And giving the other team respect. But I think that the neutral was expecting England to win that game. And
Yeah.
even Harry Kane, man, he's just cursed. He's just cursed as well.
Yeah.
And that's because he's proper Spurs, he's from the club, he's from the academy. So he's going to have a bit of that cursed in him. But thank you guys. A lot of really generous support
Yeah.
today, as well as for a game like this, which, let's be honest, it was kind of just the build up to the more important game on Thursday night. This was always going to be, the pre-match match to the Thursday night one, right? So it's really generous of you guys to support us as much as you did today. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, the rest of your weekend. In terms of tomorrow, like we've said a few times, fan show. If you want to send in your fan cams, certainly welcome to do so. Definitely need those fan cams for Thursday night, no matter how it unfolds. Need those fan cams. Would love to hear people's reactions. There will be streams on Big Up in terms of the Champions League. Like, we might do a recap for this game as well. If you guys want to sit down with us and do the highlight reactions from the Southampton game, in case people are interested, we'll get a gauge of the vibe on that. But we will do a Twitter Reacts tomorrow live. Look out for the player ratings that will be on the Twitter profile page. I'll post those later today. I can only do like 4 different ratings, so I started to just put my own bias into it, and then I kind of just go up and down between what I think the highest rating would be for the player versus, and then to the lowest. So do respond to those. It was very interesting to see what people had to say in terms of the player ratings after the last match. And unless I'm missing anything else, Dave, I would like you to enjoy your curry and rest that foot.
Yeah, no, I think, I need to go and rest my foot up, I'll take some pressure off it and that. But yeah, honestly, I can't wait to go and have my curry. I've been thinking about that since Johnson scored his first goal today. I've been thinking about it all day long. So I'm not going to lie, I cannot wait to have it, guys. Hopefully you all celebrate with some good food and a drink. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for plenty more for the basically what is a whole 4 days build up to the Frankfurt game. So we'll see you all back here tomorrow. Thank you very much for the love. Thank you very much everybody for joining in. And look, they've been rare to come by. We can talk about Tottenham's problems another few weeks down the line. Enjoy today.
Yeah, thank you all, everybody. Really do appreciate it, and we'll see you all tomorrow. It never stops. We never stop. Hopefully, Spurs never stop, and we keep going till the rest of the season, the rest of the campaign. But we'll see you all tomorrow, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And goodbye for now. Come on, you Spurs.